Yo, what up? What up? What up? Y'all know the deal, man. Like and share, like and share, like and share. So we get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world you can be, but so right here with me, the BABGOG. And I appreciate y'all pull up on me, man. What's going on? What's up with you, man? Yeah, I see y'all. Yeah, man. Hey, we gotta fit the theme music, bro. We gotta fit the theme music, bro. You know what I mean? But for everyone that's not, a Twitterer or Xer, I don't know, nowadays, man, Twitter has been motherfucking turned upside down with nothing but damn frowns ever since this African man brought his white wife to town. Goddamn, been in shambles. All right, and now we got to add the niggas. The niggas. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they are like us. As you can see right now, 20 million views, man. Just simply because this brother decided to marry his wife. Clearly a white woman. You know what I'm saying? And I think what really set it off was this clearly African last name. When I tell you the level of anger, okay, and furiousness. Listen, every white man on motherfucking Twitter, this was him.
Ooh, kill him! Ooh, kill him!
Hang that. Hold on. I think I still got it right. Hold on. Listen, every white man on Twitter, not every, most of them.
Hang that nigga now. I got the rope right here.
What we told y'all, man. Listen, Prime. You know it, Prime. This really needs to be studied, bro. And I tell you guys this shit. This is something that only we can talk about because we experience it, bro. We do not trip on what other men get, what other men, whatever. Because at the end of the day, right? I think I know brothers have a confidence about ourselves when it comes to just women, right? You know what I mean? Physical, sexual, all that shit, whatever, our reputation precedes us, all right? You know what I'm saying? And just like the Asian guy is known good to be, a good mathematician, and allegedly, is a lie now. Karate masters, kung fu, what the you ever seen a motherfucking Asian dude motherfucking pull that shit and that's it? Niggas didn't motherfucking react. Niggas kept stepping forward and he got louder and got it, he just got the sound effects just got loud. No, nigga, no. They show me. Okay? Show me some of that motherfucking Street Fighter shit, nigga. Okay? Show me some Jean-Claude Van Damme, nigga. I need to see it. I'm not listening to these motherfucking these sound effects. All right? Okay? I don't believe it. You guys show me. Right? See what? Who got Indian men, the Indian men, the businessmen and all those great things, and could use a little deodorant every now and again, but same thing. Arabs, it's hard to tell them apart if they don't got the fucking, what I'm saying? But then the white dudes, white man, everybody looks at the white man. The white man never argues about him being in power. The white man never argues about, we've the white man is, the whole globe. Yeah, we brought civilization to everyone. So listen, man, everybody has their thing. Everybody has their thing, man. Don't get mad at us. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at us. Listen, hey, Prime. Listen, man, I told man, y'all remember what was the lady Soledad? I think it was Soledad, bro. I don't think. Listen, that's another thing too. Ladies, American women, y'all don't know how good y'all got it, man. Y'all really don't. And again, I'm not really, making fun of it because it's really tragic for women in these other countries, bro, where women don't have rights and dudes are literally on some motherfucking pussy crook type shit. All right. All right. Oh, here we go. God damn it. Of course, my fucking power went. Am I good? Let me know if I'm good, y'all. Hit me. Give me a 1 because my power flickering and shit. Y'all know it's hurricane starting to come around here. Give me the 1 in chat. Let me know I'm still good. And do me a huge favor, man. Hit that like button for me. All right, cool. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Listen. So when it comes to this thing, man, of where I told you guys, black men have been the best kept secret for however long because of just, bad imagery, bad reputation, just lies, downright lies. Everybody, every comment, oh well, he's just gonna get her pregnant and leave her. Yeah, what about his cock. Yeah, I guess he just wanted for his cock. And what be so crazy is the white boys will bring the shit up before we do, but if you agree, oh yeah, let me guess your big dick. Nigga, you brought up a dick. Not me. Pause. Brother. Listen, man, bro. Shout out to my military niggas, especially. Oh man, I bet. Listen, man, I'll never forget this shit, man. And it was like the craziest shit ever, bro. And this is why you gotta listen. Shout out to black men for understanding the purpose of a towel. All right. The purpose of a towel, all right, is to cover your private parts. It's not a shoulder rack. Okay? It's not. It's meant to cover your private wife. What you come to find out is there's some niggas, or not niggas, dudes, men that you like to call meat watchers. Meat watchers. All right? What they do is they, some way, somehow, is always fucking trying to peek at your meat. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So you gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? And know who watching you. But anyway, one of the dudes we worked with, this is when I was doing the instructing. He took a shower after the gym, and bro, Buddy came back to the office, and all he talked about was this man's meat. He was impressed, he was astonished, he was scared. This motherfucker had all the emotions describing another man's meat. You hear me? Just all of it. All the Diddy here for the tea. All the Diddy. These white boys don't care. Hispanic dudes and Asian dudes a little different, but they not that far behind them. Bro, the not, you know what I'm saying, the gay line is something that only exists with black dudes, bro. Okay? The gay, like, hey man, nah, we ain't playing like that. We ain't really talking about that. No, we don't get down like that. Everybody else, they with all the shits, bro. Slapping ass, tapping balls, all kinds of questionable shit. Like, get behind each other and humping each other and shit. That's all fucking non-black dude activity, bro. Right? Everybody else is with them shits. But yeah, man, he went into like this long, detailed soliloquy about this man's meat, bro, down to like the veins and the hairs. It was kind of, I was scared. I had to walk out. And I made sure whenever I'm in the motherfucker, what's name, nigga, hey, that motherfucker in the shower, I ain't going to anything. Hey, listen, take my shower later. All right? I don't want my motherfucking meat report to be out here, nigga, from another man. Fucking weirdo. But as you can see here, man, listen. Yeah, hey man, yeah, white boy is weird. I told y'all, listen, I had never heard of the term teabagging before the military, bro. Never. That term did not exist. I had never ever heard of it. And I found out, like, once I got to my first command, and it was like, yo, man, we teabagged them. And I'm like, what? Why the fuck would you just put bags of tea on a motherfucker? Like, that's what's funny about that, or why would you even do that? And then they explained it to me, and I tell you, the rage that fucking filled my soul. The rage. If Motherfucker, I would have been in Leavenworth. And then they explain the whole shoes on, shoes off thing. If you got your shoes off, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can bother you, nobody can miss you. But if you leave your shoes on, it's fair game, dude. Yeah. So what we did was we took our fucking sack, right? And he was asleep, and we just put our fucking sack on his forehead and took a picture of it. and the motherfucking dude was I guess they showed him, and he just let, oh, you got me. Oh, listen, on base, everybody in there. What the young nigga say? Trippy Red, you gonna die. Yeah, you gonna die, man. You gonna die. We don't play like that. But hey, that's what the white boys get down, man. I'm telling you. But man, let's get to it, man. I hope you got a prenup, bro. You might just need it. Just saying. And buddy was clapping back a little bit. Buddy was clapping back. And you see the brothers, you know, commenting positive shit. Look at this. Key. Let's look at Key. This the only person you could find to settle down with. Now let's take a look at, well, damn, I can't, hold on. It's Twitter. So, you know, hold on. I got to be careful. Key might have that whole post open if I click on her page. Let's look at Key, man. Now, Key don't look too bad. Let me see. But why is Key? Hold on, let's look. Why would Key be worried about this brother that she don't know? Key. Boss bitch. Yeah, boss bitch Key. Baby, if you somewhere sitting in the pool with your, you know, whatever bag that is, and why is you worried about this random dude on Twitter, his happiness? He can't get married to, you know, the love of his life, his wife? The only person you can settle down with. Well, damn, love, where's your ring? I see no ring on your finger. And you's a boss bitch. You don't look too bad. Why would you take time out of your day to hate? Look, second black woman in a row. You know, with dissent. See if we can find another one. See if we can find a black woman that's going to give him some congrats. Shout out to this brother here, Don DeMarco. You know, this is one of the lies they always tell. As long as you don't talk down on black women, we don't care. This brother not saying nothing. No negative comments, no nothing. He simply posted a picture of him and his wife on his fucking wedding day. And this is semi-positive. A king not moved by ass and titties. That was a slight jab. That was a you know, that was a shot. That was a shot. Hey man, he like the little he like the little booties, man. Come on, what are we talking about? Here we go. Kimberly Classic. Oh, that was the chick that was on some weird shit. Congrats to you both. Sorry so many that look like me are envious. So that even, wow. Whoa. Brittany, that might be one of these imitating what's name. I hope she's infertile. Oh, the white women too? Come on. Oh shit. Let's see. God damn it. Fucking Twitter. Fuck. Can't be scrolling on Twitter, man. Jesus Christ. What time? What is that? 19 something? Hopefully they didn't catch it. If it did, I gotta fucking go back and block that shit. It ain't funny, Cree. God damn. It's no little nip slip. You can do fucking nipples on YouTube anyway, I think, right? I don't know. For educational purposes. I don't know. But yeah, damn. Yeah, man. God damn. You never, yeah. Never know. Damn, I did not just say it. But either way, then they had to make one of these, man. Listen. And these never miss, bro. This one in the what's the one on Pyru? The one on Pyru shit. Bro, these never miss, dog. Whoever created these, man, shout out to you, bro. You did the world a service, man. But basically, you got the brother and the black woman, the angry black woman. Stay away from our men and keep out of black people's business. Talking to all the other women of all races and shit, right? The women get scary and run away. He told you nobody wants you, niggas, and that is the plan, bro. As funny as this meme is, it's so accurate. For so long, right? Not only have black women been bullying these other women and so on and so forth, right? You know, but they've literally been lying on the reputation of black men so that these women would not even seek interest. So it's a multi-layered situation as to where if the white girl, the Asian girl, the Hispanic girl, the Arab girl, the Indian girl, whoever so on and so comes around, she's going to be extremely unwelcomed, right? And not just unwelcome, but with aggression, right? Because, you know, women don't fucking respond well to aggression, right? So she's going to be handled extremely aggressively, right? And in the meantime, between time, she's going to be fucking bombarded with just lies. You know, these niggas don't take care of their kids. You know, these niggas broke. You know, these niggas cheat. You know, they make you a baby mama and they leave you alone and they never come back. This is what the black man, okay, foreign and domestic, right? Foreign and domestic, bro. Gotta put up with, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know y'all motherfucking calling us motherfucking Akatas.
Won't work. You do your thing, I do my thing. You know, it won't work. We can't work with Akata.
Akata. Where's this Akata shit? Like American? Oh shit. Cotton picker.
Yeah, man. We got the nigga and the niggas coalition today, baby. Right? I keep telling you guys, man. We're at the very start and beginning of a turnaround. Right? And being that we're the age we are, we're not gonna, you know, fully see it come to fruition. But at the same time, like, right, and let me be careful how I word this. So I'll just go back. I won't go back as far as I could because people say I'm juxtaposing it, you know, improperly or making fun. But I'll just say this, right? So, Jim Crow days, early set on of Jim Crow days and whatnot, what have you. You know, the peak of racism, right, in the country post slavery. People never saw it to the point of where they would be equal to quote unquote white people, right? They couldn't imagine it. Mind you, they were born into or, you know, right after slavery, so on and so forth. So they had a strong connection to slavery. And all they ever knew for existence was, you know, the white people are over us and we got to do what the white people say and, you know, try to live and make it in the world. Lo and behold, though, right? Of course, things have been like a 180, right? Completely, totally changed. And those people that laid the foundation and suffered the most and endured in order for us to be here today could never imagine the privileges, benefits, and advantages we have, right? Opportunities. This is what is going on for black men right now, right? I know it shit sound like, oh, nigga, this is not that. It really is that deep, bro. Y'all have to understand. And this is why, as much as I stay away from the racism shit, right? Y'all know that I'm not a big proponent of racism being this end all be all and controller of my life and so on and so forth. I'm not saying, I have never said racism does not exist. Not saying that. I'm saying racism does not have enough fucking power to stop me and or you from doing anything in this country or in the world, right? So with that being said, right, being that the black man has been the person that in this country has always been the target of, you know what I'm saying, being made to look weak, you know what I'm saying, being made to look less intelligent, being just denigrated and having your image destroyed. Now that we have control of our own image, we can speak for ourselves, not only the fucking celebrities and the athletes and the, you know, the rappers and whoever and so on and so forth, the performers. People are starting to connect with our humanity. And I'm not saying that in, you know, some oh, you praising a white man, you won't accept this. No, it's not about fucking acceptance, dumbass. It's about understanding psychologically just where people are. And if people see you in a certain light, it'll always be a barrier or something there. This is why this all the you podcast niggas, all you niggas got podcasts. Yeah, and it's a wonderful thing because what you get to see is actual, regular, everyday black men, their personalities, their ideologies, their the good, the bad, ups and downs, you know, all those different things, right? And you get to have a connection with these people that you've never been able to have before outside of, you know, hey, I'm gonna watch him catch a ball, watch him shoot a ball, watch him hit a ball, watch him sing a song, watch him play in a movie, or watch him on TV or all this other shit. No, you get to see regular, everyday people, right? Regular, everyday people, man. And most importantly, like we said, more so for everybody else, don't really matter, you know. But women, because women want what? Women want motherfucking protection. Women want provision. Women want love. Women want the best possible man they feel like they can get. Everybody talk shit about the black man, and you know, oh, y'all make the least amount of money, which isn't true, right? Y'all ain't doing this. Y'all ain't buying that. Y'all ain't got this. Y'all ain't got that. Okay, right. When we're talking about, again, setting up American black men and some African dudes is here because he's here. He's not over in Africa. He's here, right? So I was what would he be? What, first generation, second generation? So let me get this. Hey, I never asked this question. So when immigrants get here and their first immigration, that's the first group of kids had after they get here, right? Make sure I got that. I'm saying that right. So when you say like first generation, like, you know, African, Haitian, whatever, right? That means the first generation is the ones that were had after the family migrated here, correct? That would be second. Okay. I appreciate you, American Negro. Okay, cool. So the second generation, the ones born here are first. That's what I thought, Plundar. So just figure me out, y'all. Because I thought it was. So the ones born here are first generation. Either or, let me know, right? All right, thank you. Okay. So yeah, first generation, got you. Appreciate you. All right, cool. Got y'all. All right. So first generation foreign guys, right? Africans, Caribbeans, whatnot, right? And is this is why I can't, bro, especially like you said, in certain areas or whatnot, what have you, bro. These dudes grow up with the black experience, bro. You know what I'm saying? These African niggas, so on and so forth. Like I said, bro, I had no idea that like the light skinned dude that played in Power, Rotimi's fucking Nigerian. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So I think what Idris Elba is what some type of whatever type of African he is and British or whatever. Listen, bro, I was still nigga. I was astonished the first time I heard Idris Elba outside of his role, because before The Wire, I never, you know what I'm saying, never heard of him, never knew him. right? And you know, this nigga sound like a nigga from motherfucking Baltimore, right? Like, damn, this they got this nigga right off of you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? They got this nigga like right out of the motherfucking middle of the motherfucking projects in Baltimore somewhere, right? To do his role. And then he started talking, and I'm like, oh, whoa, this motherfucker tea and crumpet ass nigga. But you know, the for the most part, some of them can blend. All right. Now some of that shit, like, hell no. Come on, bro. It's a difference. All right. Yeah, Franklin. Yeah. And even before the other dude, the what's the dude named? The famous ass movie. Get Out. The Get Out dude. He's African. Uh who is another one? The dude they had a little thing going before the Star Wars thing, that guy. And hell shit, Chadwick Boseman, low key, Chadwick Boseman, hey, that nigga, listen, hey, he could have been African to me. My understanding was he, you know, but yeah. So what we come to understand and realize, man, right? And more people are starting to understand and see, look, bro, black men aren't just these fucking aggressive, overly sexual brutes that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna motherfucking rob you for your purse and take your pussy. No, that's not us, love. And again, because women are constantly looking for that protection and provision, who's better to provide it than someone that, you know what I'm saying, makes you feel safe when you're around them, and clearly, like you said, has his shit together better enough to. And this right here, I think he works in one of the IT fields or something like that, or he's like a web designer. He works some in tech fields. It's definitely in tech fields, right? Again, man, listen, everybody's mad because you niggas was never supposed to motherfucking like get out the fields. You niggas was never supposed to. Every time everybody see you, they supposed to see you with some motherfucking dirty ass overalls on, that burlap ass slave shirt, a straw hat, and some motherfucking you know, some grass hanging out your mouth, barefoot. That's that's literally how they want the black man to be seen perpetually, man. So why? So what? So you don't have to compete. Pound for pound, bro. Again, and say what you want. It is what it is. There ain't no black supremacy shit showing the soap of la la. Again, this is not my opinion. This is facts. The most famous people who ever stepped foot on this earth: Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Kobe Bryant. Again, I can't think of as good as Wayne Gretzky was, the GOAT of fucking what's the name, right? That's one of the names that comes to what's the name. Even Michael Phelps, right? Again, Michael Phelps, one of the greatest Olympians and shit. But bro, he's not a household name like a fucking Michael Jordan, like a Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Ali has fucking, you know, transcended generations, right? People that weren't even thought about when he was boxing, you know, and well after his death, that's still a name now that you see or brought up and mentioned on the regular, right? It's just something about the appeal, man. And again, we literally real shit make the motherfucker, like we set the trends, bro. We set the trends, you know. And again, I'm not just saying that's everything or whatever, but and I'm not just saying fashion wise and whatnot, but to have control of an entertainment industry or have control of the be the engine for a major sports conglomerate, right? Major sports corporation. That's huge. Nike, right? Nike wasn't shit until they got fucking Jordan. Nike was a running shoe company nobody gave a fuck about. And they said, let's try this basketball shit and get this nigga a shoe. And hey, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Best investment they ever fucking did. Best investment they ever fucking made. Right? Betting on black. The appeal, right? Because now, and y'all love shitting on these dating apps. Y'all love shitting on, meeting people online and all this other shit and la, right? But, bro, literally now, everybody got motherfucking connection to everybody. She got that little motherfucking mailbox up there. That shit ain't motherfucking hidden. You can shoot that shot. Hey, shoot that shit from the parking lot, my nigga. You never know. Shoot it from the motherfucking parking lot before you even get in the door. Because listen, man, outside of that, bro, like we were saying the other day, like the man-woman dynamic, bro, is a beautiful thing, right? And like I said, this isn't a promotion for interracial, whatever. I'm just saying that the black man does not get the same grace. He does not get the same respect. The street, my bad. Let me reverse. Work up. The straight black man. I'm sorry, I got to emphasize. The straight black man, foreign or domestic, does not get the same grace as everybody else does. Not just black women, but everybody else does. There's this motherfucking Asian girl that was trying to go in on the motherfucking Andrew Schultz shit, and she talking shit about niggas on the slide. And it's like, shouting, nobody worships white men and hates their own men like Asian women. This is facts. The numbers say it, the data say it, y'all say it. Y'all don't like fucking with fucking little fucking Tommy Chan and Jimmy Chung. Juntao. Y'all don't want shit to do with Juntao. That's why Juntao was so fucking mad. Juntao couldn't get no pussy. Little angry ass motherfucker like going around blowing up shit. Cause they ain't want him. Yeah, H2 is not just a yeah. And it's crazy, right? When we get the you start looking at the stats and the data and all these different things. And again, this isn't to denigrate black women as much as it is to just be realistic about the situation. Black men get shit on for everything, for getting divorced and all this other shit. When again, if you are in a relationship with the highest women with the highest divorce rate, what do you expect? People seem to still not be getting and understanding that. Just like if you're having sex with, you're matched with the women that have the highest STD rate. What do you expect? If 90% of black men are having sex with black women who have the highest STD rates, and how are you gonna turn around and tell them that, oh, y'all got STD? No, y'all numbers are higher than everything other than I think it's gonorrhea or chlamydia. One or two. Only thing that black men have higher than black women are, I think, like gonorrhea and maybe syphilis. I don't know. Everything else, the straight ones. And what makes it so crazy is that one, when you just do the regular STDs, everything outside of HIV, it does not differentiate, straight dude or brother fucker. So the brother fuckers are included in the chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and everything else, right? The only thing they make it the differentiations for is like HIV, right? So it's just so many things, bro. Like I say, black men get caught in the crossfire, right? And we're really the fucking we're really getting caught up in the bullshit, but we getting the blame. When again, you swear niggas ain't getting no pussy, right? Y'all only fucking the same niggas, right? So how is it that y'all got higher STDs, niggas not getting pussy, and it's the niggas' fault? It's the man's fault. Y'all niggas ugly. Y'all niggas dusty. Y'all broke. Y'all, your dick little. You can't fuck anyway. all this negative shit when it comes to motherfucking sex, but somehow it's still the men's fault. What are we doing? Kim Shady, they getting them from the same dudes that they're having sex with. Some of which are dudes that fuck dudes, and they know it knowingly, right? Knowingly. Let me get these super chats real quick, man. Really appreciate y'all. Shout out to my man, A1 Day 1 Prime VA 757 in the building for the 5. Appreciate you, brother. Black men on Twitter don't be letting these women get away with the BS. Yeah, brother. I'm one of the fucking council members. No, we ain't let shit slide. Taking no shots. Indeed. Shout out to my man Brian Turner for the 5. Really appreciate you, brother. Twitter showed me it's not a gender war, it's a blood feud between melanated men and women. I'm not built to argue with these hoes online. Hey man, listen. You ever need to let off some steam, bro? Just get into it, man. This nigga here, man. Shout out to Team Fatty, man, coming through with the motherfucking 50 ball, man, putting the motherfucking club soda on.
That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
To buy some just for men. Nah, brother, it's wisdom, man. We're gonna keep it natural, brother. It's wisdom, baby. And keep it natural. I gotta do something with this shit though, man. But y'all know I'm boxing every damn day, so like fucking braids, bro. And shout out to my man Jim Rat, man. Greatly appreciate you, Jim Rat, for the 10, brother. What's good, my guy? Hey, man, you got it, brother. Another day, another dollar, as they say, right? But I told y'all, man, listen, I didn't even know some of this shit was a thing still, right?
Burn the coal, pay the toll. Mud shark.
I never heard coal burner until like a year ago. Remember I told y'all that? Remember the show we had? And I was like, yo, I learned a whole new thing, man. I heard the mud shark shit before or whatever, right? But coal burner? You know she burns the coal. I don't get it. I don't. It just randomly. Listen. This is what happens. Listen, bro. Listen. I've never seen a situation where a black woman is out with a white man, or a white man is out with a black woman, right? And niggas is doing all this. Like, bro, who cares? Who cares? And the crazy part is, oh no. So hold on. Well, Ocean Views Coffee Shop. I have, brother. That was a play on words for the thumbnail, brother. I looked up penis envy, thinking I was going to get Sigmund Freud, the psychological analysis of the whole thing or whatnot, what have you. And no, apparently that's a strand of motherfucking mushrooms that be having motherfuckers tripping balls. So that's why I have the mushrooms in the thumbnail, brother. I'm sorry that we don't promote psychedelics over here, brother. So if that's what you came looking for, I don't have it. Yeah, my bad, brother. Listen, I learned something new today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to man Prime VA 757 again, man, for the 5. Really appreciate you, bro. Wait, what? White men created a website doxing white women married to black men called Colfax. Bro, that is crazy. Oh my God. Oh. But that right there, man, listen, this is another fucking thing of proof of what we telling you, bro. Yeah, listen, bro. Everybody, no fucking man is penis police or dick detected on the planet like the motherfucking black man, bro.
Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis.
Never, man. Yeah, I did. Hey, man, we're the only fucking group of men, bro, that can't have a preference, dog. Straight black men, the only motherfuckers, bro. If you do anything outside of what you supposed your own, nigga, it's on. Okay, you pick anything that ain't your own, it's on. Everybody wants smoke. Women fucking shamed and shit. Women get disowned, and this the crazy part about it is, again, bro. This and it's yeah, bro. It's a girl. I remember. I forget what I was looking up. I was looking up something, and this girl was saying, "Y'all need to stop with this black and brown relationship, bro. Hispanics don't fuck with us like that. Nigga, you'll be in my. I'll tell you in a minute. I told y'all. Listen, the girl is Puerto Rican, right? And you know, Puerto Ricans, they got a little nigga in them, you know, historically, bro. The Puerto Rican grandma threw the banana in the baby's fucking bassinet, man, because her granddaughter had a baby with a black dude. And then what y'all give it to me again? What's monkey in what's monkey in Spanish? How you say monkey in Spanish? I still gotta find her, get her on here to tell y'all this shit, man. Yeah, mono. Threw the banana in the baby. More for your mama. You heard me, nigga. You heard what I said. Yeah, H2. That H2. The shit that black women be fucking. The shit that black women be claiming, bro. They not. I've told you, it's not real, bro. Real colorism is the Caribbean and like South America countries and shit like that. As to where that shit right there is real. Even Mexicans will tell you that shit, right? Bro, if you are darker in those things, you're seen as lesser than, right? If you're the darker version of those people, you're seen as lesser than. You're seen as like a fucking third-rate fucking citizen, and to lighter, you know, because they're trying to get, as much as they hate the fucking Spaniards, right? And a lot of people that are South American, Central American, they look at, and I heard them say it. they call like people from Spain, they call them gay. And they talk about how they think they're better and shit. But at the same time, like you said, a lot of the cultures down there, you know what I'm saying, and the nationalities or whatnot, believe is like you want to look as close to like a Spaniard, lighter skinned as possible. You feel me? Yeah, man. But the shit the shit black women be talking about, colorism, bro, it's not about anything other than fucking preference. Right? And usually is because, again, you lack attractiveness to be able to get the dude you actually want. Love. There are too many beautiful dark-skinned women out here. Too many fucking drop dead gorgeous chocolate women out here for that to be an excuse. No, and you don't see them complaining. Every now and again they'll jump on the bandwagon, so they, you know what I'm saying, you gotta have a pretty girl agree. But no, baby, it's because you ugly. Sorry. Bars. Baby, it ain't because you too chocolatey. It's because you're ugly. Bars. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anytime I go out somewhere and it's a badass motherfucking dark skinned girl, niggas is choosing. Ain't no you pretty for a dark skinned girl. Ain't none of that bullshit. No, niggas is trying to here for the tea. But where did I lie? T.O. Yeah, that's who they want to be. They can't stand them, but they want to. That's who they want to be, like Donnell Jones, man. Evan, no. Well, you know what's crazy? I would disagree because most of the people when they won, fucking like Brazil, Colombia, South America was like for the longest time, man, like the Miss Universe capital, right? Where all the most beautiful women in the world came from, the beauty pageants. Most of those women were not super light, bro. They always had a nice, nice tan to them. And then the last one I remember was 2022 or 2023 was an African girl. All natural African girl with a low haircut. So that's why I said black women can no longer use this featureism shit or the European standard of beauty when there have been black women. Naomi Campbell was Naomi Campbell Miss Universe? I know what's her name was Miss America. Her big crazy ass. Kenya Moore was Miss America, right? Kenya Moore from fucking Real Housewives. She was Miss America. Dark skinned woman, beautiful, crazy as hell, but beautiful. Naomi Campbell. I think she was just a supermodel, right? I don't think she ever competed for Miss Universe or anything like that. So I think I'm tripping on that. But clearly, one of the most beautiful women to ever live, a supermodel. The girl that just won either 2022 or 2023. Again, so that's why I say, man, we gotta stop doing this shit. Black women gotta stop playing this victim role when it comes to just like how y'all gonna say European beauty standards and nobody finds y'all beautiful, but then brag about fucking everybody want y'all but us. Don't make sense. Don't make sense. Yeah, that's like, I mean, just don't make sense. So when straight black men find love, all right, with women from motherfucking other women from other cultures, races, demographics, and all this other shit, man. Yeah, bro, they definitely do. Appreciate you, Cree. Yeah, Kenya was Miss USA. Appreciate you. Okay, for sure. Yeah. And with her, hey, somebody shout out to Ed. Ed tagged me or something. Was Kristen Carrison on the whatever show? Just a quick question. Was that Kristen Carrison on the whatever show? Whatever podcast? I think that's who that was. This is who it looked like. Hey, more for your mom. We can just suppose that immediately. Oh yeah, she, yeah, yes, girl. Yeah, she got her real man and this and that and all this other shit. Yes. Venus' husband looking like a whole snot bubble out here. This man take his motherfucking shirt off and it's just like blah. Yes, girl. Yes. But niggas, 6-pack, 6 feet, 16 inches, 60 figures. All that shit, man. Crazy. Shout out to my man JC the Conqueror, brother. Greatly appreciate you for the 5 minutes. My bad. I said Serena. I mean Serena. Serena husband. Venus ain't married. But they say Venus thinking about marrying some white boy or whatever. But I'm sorry. But yeah, Serena's husband was like a snot bubble. Horrible. Terrible. Shout out to brother Afro Nerd Radio. Appreciate you, brother, for the 10. To keep it a thou while Kevin Samuels was faking it until he made it. And he went from anonymous YouTubers to having an episode on Atlanta. Again, a YouTuber. Black men can turn this around. Yeah, bro, it's already been happening, bro. And like I said, yeah, it's that's no secret, bro. Kevin Samuels was in, you know, they put the video out of him dripping oil in the in front of the lady's house he's renting an apartment from or some shit, right? Somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, hey, he was a server for who knows how long. He thought about being a fucking restaurant server, you know, well past restaurant server age. I don't think nobody ever bought one of them $10,000 suits that nigga was talking about. There was this one nigga though that was motherfucking, you know, pirouetting around in a yellow blazer, but people seem to forget that, so we'll just leave that alone. But yeah, man, he made it. Hey, he made it. He made it. Right? R.I.P. And all in all, man, he did more good than bad. Did more good than bad, because what Kevin Samuels did is Kevin Samuels made the world pay attention to the voice of black men. Love him or hate him, like him, dislike him. Kevin Samuels, like you said, went from a nigga that will be on the panels with us, right? Chopping it up, talking shit, whatever, trying to get niggas to pay him, you know, $5,000 to buy a $10,000 suit, to package it in the way it need to be packaged. You know, he borrowed from a lot of niggas, not just Tommy, a lot of niggas, and packaged it in a way as where the mainstream could consume it. Right? Now, yeah. And that's what this thing is about, man. That's what this thing's about. Black male advocacy, bro, is important. And we have an opportunity. And that's why I tell you guys, I take none of you guys do for granted, man. Likes, shares, money, anything, man. Feedback, negative or positive, agree, disagree, participating, you know, coming up on the panels, all this different thing, bro. Because again, the more we talk, and sometimes the shit get crazy. You know, downright, you know, fuck you, nigga, and this and la. Hey, man, all men do that shit though, right? But more often than not, it's positive. And you get to see brothers interacting and you know, agreeing, disagreeing, challenging each other's ideas, philosophies, all those different things. And you know, people get to see it, right? People get to see it, man. And it's not no acting. These ain't no scripts. It's just like, hey, how the conversation go? Oh shit, I'm not muted now. I should be good, right? Solid sir, we're not going there, bro. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this, solid sir. No, sir, I'm not doing it. Shout out to Prime VA again, man, for the 5. Greatly appreciate you, brother. A few weeks ago, Pink Pill showed the recent stats showing that black women, white men had their highest divorce rates. They were pissed. Listen, Prime, all the lies, bro. They can't live no more. Bro, in this day and age of fucking instant fucking data and statistics, bro. And listen, bro, shout out to Crystal Cares, bro. Shout out to Crystal Cares, as much as she, you know, whatever, and she has the whole divestiture cult and whatnot, what have you. Crystal Cares was the person that gave the numbers for black single motherhood like long time ago. I think it was like 2010 when she did the article or whatever, right? Before she really hopped into the YouTube space. And Crystal Cares pretty much gave a warning to the black community as a whole. But because black women were so enamored with the you can be a baby mama and still get that white man, they ignored all of the other things and then stop the behavior. See, that's the worst part. Never show people, and this is one of the biggest downfall of niggas, bro. I'm gonna say this again. I'll never say this before. I'm gonna say this for the first time. The biggest downfall of niggas is niggas feel like is you can fuck all the way up and then come up. Niggas feel like you can fuck all the way up and still have your come up. Remember this dude, the famous dude, infamous, or no, he's famous, I guess. For us, he was the black dude. He got convicted of something. He got his law degree in prison, and now he's this big time lawyer that's a fucking, prison advocate and all this other shit and blah, 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 right? The only time a black man gets respect for getting a fucking degree is if he gets it in prison. You get the fucking degree, nigga, nobody care, nigga. Don't nobody care about no degree, nigga. We got more degrees than y'all anyway, nigga. Nobody care. Nigga go to jail though. Hey man. Best thing ever. Bro, yeah, the underdog thing, man. That's why I tell y'all. When I see the people that black women especially choose to champion. Black women choose to purposely champion piece of shit, ain't shit niggas because they want that to be the representation of black men. This is why you see that. This is why you see motherfuckers that are like the worst possible fucking examples of men be supported and lifted up by black women because they want that to be the representation. They need those dudes to get as much shine as possible to take away from all the rest of us that are doing what we should be doing, that are living up to the standard and exceeding, in some cases exceeding masculinity, manhood, responsibility, provision, protection, all these different things, right? You have to keep the fuck ups in the forefront. This is why you get a motherfucker that's on, a grown ass man that's using his children for government benefits, right? Very, very questionable and crazy ass claims against his own children get lifted up. Wild, ain't it? Scary, man. Sad. And they're willing to sacrifice children for it. They don't care about no fucking kids, bro. And then the best part about it is if something happens to the kids, some tragically or so on and so forth, blah, 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 now they just get to turn on the man and say he was a piece of shit from the start. And this is why you can't let men raise children. You see the dirty, dirty game being played, man. Hey, listen, Evan Duncan, that shit dead. That shit dead, bro. Hey, Prime, if you got that, what's the name, man? Hit me with the link for that. If you got that video or that what's the name, Prime, and you can drop the link in the what's the name, I would love to see that. But and at least in the chat, man, if y'all want to come up. But man, listen. Everybody's starting to blend more anyway, right? Except one demographic, the least married demographic, right? All right. And what you're going to come to see, the further we go forward, black women, y'all need to fucking take notice. A lot of these young niggas, especially, they're looking for greener pastures. Y'all are raising these girls with the same mentality that you had. You're poisoning these girls' minds towards black boys, black men, the black boys that grow up that is going to become black men, having them look for all the fucking wrong things. And then when they don't want them and they go marry motherfucking Becky, Suling, Maria, whoever else, I gotta learn some Arab and some Indian names. I gotta learn some fucking Fatima or some shit. I don't know. Fatima. Kumla. They gonna marry Kumla. You know what I'm saying? Listen, baby, life is a competition, dog. And for a very, very long time, black women have never ever had to compete for straight black men. Never had to compete for them. Don't nobody else want you, nigga. You ain't shit, nigga. You ain't never gonna be shit, nigga. The you know what's crazy? We the mom on I always get the fucking Antoine Fisher. That right there, those two characters, the worst. And I'm saying not saying all black women this way, but the worst depiction, worst but yet best depiction of black motherhood and black women were Monique and Precious and the stepmom or whatever in fucking Antoine Fisher. Those two right there can't motherfucking compete with it. Well, we got my man Afro Nerd in the building, man. What's up with your brother? Go ahead.
Hey man, what's up? Like your show, man. I like what you're talking about. I'm glad you opened up the link because I got a few interesting stories to tell.
Sure.
Well, first of all, I just with the business that I'm in, right? I got to be careful how I say these things because you know,
okay.
I'm at the corporates, right?
Okay.
So I deal with finance, and I come across VIP clientele all the time. So when I get a person's profile, I look at their name, and I'm saying, oh, this guy's a brother, this woman's a sister. You know, you can tell what's going on when you get their profile. So I had to call this gentleman up, and he just so happened to have the same last name as I have, right? And I looked at his wife, you know, beautiful young wife. You know, he's well-to-do. I saw his house. You know, I was able to see his whole thing, and you know, he's having an issue, right, with a white neighbor. He's having an issue with a white neighbor, who you would consider a Karen. Like I'm able to look up all this stuff. He received a legal situation. So just to kind of make it simple. We were kind of building on the phone because he knew who I was and I knew who he was. So you know, I was able to read him because you know this cat has the life, and his neighbor, who is not, you know, is a white guy, is causing problems for him. His other neighbor is also a well-to-do black person who is a music producer, who also produces, well, I can't say who the artist is, but someone who's well known.
Yeah.
So just in this simple conversation, I'm like, wow, you know, this is a person, he's Generation X. The other guy is a millennial. Have mansions in, you know, locally, and they're not the stereotype, and they're still, even at their level, they're catching wreck because this white neighbor has a problem with both these two. So I can't go into real detail because this is, you know, a private conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm just mentioning this because this whole thing about black men aren't doing well is really a facade, and I come across quite a few well-to-do black folks that, you know, you would not know how they live, where they live. Even black folks that have been able to flip their homes and move into a well-established community down south. Like, there's a lot of black folks doing secret moves, buying land, black male business owners, ADOS black men. You know, in the case I just told you, this gentleman, I believe, was FBA, and his neighbor was Ghanaian, right? So I just said to myself, wow, you know, this is not the stereotype that people think. You know, I'm not a wealthy person, but I'm doing pretty well. You know, considering, you know, my position. You know, so I'm like, how many black people, black males specifically, are doing so poorly to the degree?
Well, let me hop in there real quick, brother, because I'm glad you said that. Listen, man. The standard for, and that's another big part, and that's why it's important that you tell stories like you tell, and put emphasis on this. For somehow, some way, some reason, right? The black man, even when he's doing good, is not good enough. Like I said, I've never ever heard anyone tell a black woman that 6 figures ain't no money. Never. If a black man comes out and says he makes six figures and really does, not just on YouTube or whatnot, what have you. Oh, there ain't no money, nigga. Six figures ain't no money, nigga. That ain't doing it, ma'am, sir. What? You know what I mean? And the bad part about it, like I say, when brothers, because I had this argument a couple times. As a man, bro, that I told you, and I'm speaking for me, okay. When I jumped from $50,000 a year to just, I'll say it was somewhere between 65 and 68, bro, that was life changing. An extra $15,000 a year was life changing for me, right? With a family. So you mean to tell me if I somehow doubled my money from 50,000, and like you said, I'm doing good. I'm not living above my means. I'm not fucking doing anything crazy or whatever, so on and so forth. My bills are paid on time, whatever. My lights ain't getting cut off. We're maintaining, right? You know what I'm saying? As most people do. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me not that I seen it personally from just a $15,000 increase? You mean to tell if I had fucking 50,000 and I somehow double that shit to 100, that ain't no money? When I looked at it from that lens, I was just like, bro, it really is an agenda out here for black men to keep us in the mindset of that nigga. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? Ain't can't don't want. That's why I came up with the ain't can't don't want theory. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what you do, it just never adds up. And then they make the comparisons to the white man and this. And again, the white man should not even be the comparison. The white man is like number 8 on the fucking list of highest earning men group demographic in the country. But yet and still, it shows you too, like you said, that twofold thing of black women's infatuation with the white man and purposely keeping the white man over the black man in order to not, for him not, you know what I'm saying, for that to be an excuse for them not to have to, pretty much relinquish power to them or whatnot.
Well, yeah, listen, do you remember that video that went viral? With so many of these same kind of videos going viral, was a young black woman weaved out in the whole nine, and she made a comment about she wouldn't date a fireman. Like she was taking a dump on firemen and policemen, black policemen and firemen who definitely make high 5 figures, low 6 figures at minimum. And I say you don't even respect a fireman. A fireman, or I can't respond to that. I don't even know what that is. And then on the flip side, and I wrote in the chat that we have women of all strata that write love letters to murderers in prison. So you don't know how to measure this. Like you could be a fireman or a teacher, or just a well-established professional or whatever it is with a degree or a few degrees, versus the person that, like I said, he's doing time in prison and gets rhythm from women on occasion, or more than an occasion. Murderers do get love letters for some reason. So I don't know how to take that. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, listen, I love women. I love sisters. Occasionally, I do see sisters online that look like 100%. I'm not gonna lie. I see a few that like, wow, this sister. Even the colorism thing, like you said, that's being deconstructed, man. That's really not what it is. Any woman I've dated women of all stripes in the black community, and I never really put too much thought into the color thing because it always went down. It went down to just how well do you look? How do you look? Is it Halle Berry on one side, or is it? Because I heard someone mention a Boomerang, and they try to say that Halle Berry in that movie was like the quote unquote light skinned woman or whatever. And I said, wait a minute, if you remember that movie, who was the actress? That was
Layla Rashawn.
No, not Layla Rashawn. I'm talking in that movie, but I think she was in that movie. No, Robin Givens. Robin Givens actually was the femme fatale. She was the desirable woman, and Halle Berry played second fiddle to her in the movie, if you remember. So that's down, brown skin versus lighter skin, and all that nonsense. It really, how do you look? What do you look like? So I just find that some of the stuff is just starting to become a non-starter for me. The weaves are becoming like outrageous. Like I'm just seeing people wearing straight blonde hair now. Like you just wearing a blonde Caucasian hair hat. I can't handle it. I've never dated. I have dated one woman that wore a weave, but because of how I kind of move, the following week she got rid of it. I didn't say anything, but she kind of knew. Okay, this really isn't his thing, and she got rid of it, and she looked better for it. But I've never really. I can't do tattoos. I can't do bull rings. I don't know. I don't know who that's for. You know, I'm just confused by it. So I know, obviously, you know, there's the exception and there's the rule. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few sisters that got it together, but there's a whole lot. You look at the pop the balloon. I'm seeing a whole lot of slobs on Pop the Balloon commenting and making it seem like they're desirable, you know, making all kinds of demands, and butts and guts, bull rings, whole tattoos on thighs. I guess I don't know what kind of brother finds that attractive. So, you know, it's at the point to me. I think you have to go where you want it.
Well, yeah, man. Like I said, and most brothers are starting to understand that, man, and get past that worrying about the shame and worrying about what other people are going to say, or you know what I mean, or you know, talk about and all this other shit. Like, look, bro, you only get one life, dog. And like I said, this whole sticking to your own kind. When again, you look at all the numbers around it, black women aren't marriage minded, and black men are getting blamed for it. How is it that black women are married the least, but it's black men's fault that black women can't get married? You feel what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. But let me get my man Brian in here. Brian, what's up, brother? Go ahead, it's on you.
What's good with it?
I can't complain.
Shoot, first off, man, shout out to you, bro. Platform growing. Love to see it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I'll be commenting on your TikTok. And I'm about to say it ties into that. As I mentioned in my super chat earlier, bro, I'm not built for a lot of this internet stuff. Never have been, never will be. Not because it's not important, but because I noticed with a lot of these chicks on Instagram, and you might have seen my super chat earlier. This ain't no gender war. When it comes to the way some of these chicks on social media talk, this is a blood feud. And it's mainly because you have a group of women who, despite all their success, despite all their intangibles, they just can't seem to get out their own way as far as their interactions with men. They're very hostile towards men. But tying into this conversation, I saw a post that took the internet by storm the last couple of days. I'm sure you saw the post talking about melanated women owning more homes than black men, right?
Yeah, they said women in general. So it wasn't just so that's another thing too. So I'm glad you said that, Brian Turner. So black women are trying to take credit for this the same way they did when they told the lie about them being the most educated or whatnot, what have you, right? When it was like the most attendance. So what black women did, because it's more women are buying properties than men in general, period. Right? It's not black women, it's not whatever, it's just women in general. And I had I forget who said it. No, I don't. It was either Ebony. Well, yes, it's either Ebony K. Williams or the light skinned lady on The View that made the claim that black women were buying the most homes or some shit like that. No, it was Ebony K. Williams. She said that when she was on The Breakfast Club. Ebony K. Williams told a fucking lie, saying that black women were buying the most homes of any demographic. And I'm like, what? How? That for one. At the same time, they had the most. She said this during a time where black women had the highest foreclosure rate, and then secondly, I was like, there's no fucking way black women are buying the most houses when they, you know what I'm saying? They the only people they make more money than is Hispanic women. You feel what I'm saying? So she wasn't just talking about women. She was talking about period, and I was just like, she really gonna just lie like that on national like on the radio? You know, like what are we saying?
Propaganda.
Yeah, nobody
It's
ever
like,
checks that shit, man. Nobody ever checks
it's
it.
like you played ball, right? You play ball.
Yeah.
Like, remember how when you play ball, like when I play ball too, right? They'll say somebody's 6'6" when they're really 6'4" or something like that. It's like they're trying to add an inch. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying is it's all propaganda. It's all trying to put a ring in a pig's snout, right? Basically, and the thing is, man, we have these conversations and we hit these tough points, but they need to be said. A lot of times, like they're trying to portray black men, like you said, like we're failures, when in actuality, a lot of things these chicks brag on, bro, black men don't need those things to make money or to be comfortable in life. There's a lot of black men who make just as much money, if not more than the average black woman, and they don't need to buy a home. Want to know why? Because homes are for families. And then this whole degree thing. All right. So I want everyone under the sound of my voice to hear this. I am a black man that's been both blue collar and white collar. I was in the military and I've been a civilian. I want this to be made very clear. I'm not, look, disclosure. As a black man in the white collar force right now, I just finished grad school. I can tell you right now, black men who are working blue collar are kicking white collar people's ass right now. I will say it again. Blue collar black men are kicking white collar black men's ass, especially when you start out. Black men don't need college to make money. I just chose the route because there's certain things I want to do in my life that I believe fit me more. But I can tell you like this. The reason why black men don't need college is because there's a lot of really damn good jobs that only, not saying women can't work them. These are occupations that are traditionally male, they're not just male dominant because they're these are occupations only men want to work. Plumbing, HVAC. These are occupations that make way more money than the average. There's people who work HVAC that make way more money than lawyers in their first 2 or 3 years of working. And it's just, and I'm sure you can attest to this. Black men have evolved, are ever evolving group of people. We don't need to flaunt our wealth. All we need is comfortability. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, bro. I'm trying to. What's the term? Minimalist. Most men are minimalists. Men's like, hey man, give me a fucking couch, give me a TV, give me a refrigerator and a 6-pack of beer, and I'm good. Right? I don't need all this extra shit. I don't need my shit to be looking like, what was like fucking Tommy's fucking house in Belly, nigga. I don't need all the lights. I don't need the Art Deco paintings. I don't need the, you know what I'm saying, the futuristic furniture. I don't need none of that shit, bro. Like, listen, give me the shit I need in order for me to be able to function, like you said, on my daily basis, be comfortable, and that's it.
As long as I got a gym, I'm good.
Yeah, and then like you say, you get shamed for that. Oh, this nigga house plain, bitch, is a house. You staying with your mama still, bitch. You know that, right? You know I'm taking you back to your mama house after this. You really?
Hell yeah.
but like you said,
yeah.
Like you said, man, that's the crazy part about it, right? And it's just furthermore, given the point of, like you said, the black man standard, bro, is just so unrealistic. And whenever you do meet something or whatever, it's not enough. It's this, is that, all these different things, and so on and so forth. And that's why I tell them, brothers, bro, start blocking out that noise, man. Bro, if you're comfortable, if you're doing, if nigga, you not hungry, you not behind on no bills, you not in no fucking serious debt or whatever, and you're comfortable with your life, bro, be comfortable with your life. A woman that fucking gonna say anything negative or whatever, especially when you know for a fact she's at the same level or less than you financially, but she's just not a woman for you. So hey,
Right.
hey, aim for the throat and let her go. You feel me?
Right. Yeah, bro. Like I said, and I'll end with this. It always gets better later, bro. Especially if you ain't got no past like that. Like I'm a GS9 right now. I make my 11 pretty soon. It always gets greater later. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Hold real quick. Hey Dave, do me a favor, bro. Just cam up for me in the back. I'm not familiar with you. Just cam up real quick, and you turn the camera right back off. Make sure you're a real person there, brother. Dave in the back.
Send me a text later, bro.
Real quick.
I wanted to say something with what Brian was saying, because he was saying a whole lot of
you
facts.
Gotta connect the cam. Go ahead, brother. I'm listening.
That's all right. So I was just saying that what Brian was saying was patently correct, and also the funny thing I think what many black men really need to do was, how you go to a hospital and how rude it is when the first thing they say, you could be bleeding profusely, and they say, your insurance. What's your insurance? It's like, man, that's not, where's the bedside manner? That's like a typical thing. That's almost the same kind of vibe you get with some sisters, not just sisters, maybe even some women, Western women, if you want to expand it, where they don't even really want to know about your character. Like, you could be a doctor, but you could have a human head in your trunk. They go right to, are you a provider male? In quotes. I'm like, damn, it's like, you need my insurance card too? I mean, what like that whole vibe is getting annoying. And also, like you said, if you are able to maintain yourself and you have 401ks, you have IRAs, you have a fair share of money saved up, You're not stressed out. You're not struggling. You are already winning. And I'll just land the plane on this. And I mentioned Kevin Samuels because I liked a lot of what Kevin Samuels represented. I thought he was suited and booted. I think that many of us could learn that really his appeal was how well he was dressed and how he comported himself. And I was like, man, this man, he struggled, into his 50s and kind of flipped it in a couple of years. It's unfortunate he died the way that he did. But like I said, this man became, he was newsworthy when he passed on. He was written up in the Times. He's written up quite extensively. And I just happened to see that episode of Atlanta. They basically gave him, and that was a really good episode too, by the way. I saw that he had basically that entire episode. Donald Glover said that role he played was meant for Steve Harvey, and because of scheduling, Samuels got the role, and we rolled. And you also know, did the infamous Future video. So who knows where he would have gone if he had lived? But this guy came from obscurity and turned it around. Whether you really agreed for wholesale with his ideology, he turned it around in a couple of years, and I believe he was a millionaire when he passed off of YouTube. So what's to stop any one of us with more?
Most definitely.
I mean, really, the sky is open to succeed. I'll land the plane on that.
Yeah, and also Afro Nerd, if you don't mind dropping your social media or something, bro. I have some questions I want to ask you because I really like listening to you talk, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You said some things that I have some questions about, as far as like, if you don't mind, if I can pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but I'm gonna land on my plane on this. The chicks who talk like that, also my provider mail, and they get their rhetorics from social media. That's gonna be the most single group of heifers in the history of the world. Like, that's a group of people who mentally, unfortunately, they look social media, and not just social media, but their ideologies as far as how they look at the world is gonna make them the most single and the most undateable group of people the world's ever seen, because it goes past materialism. It goes past avariciousness. These are people who have made themselves uncompatible with people who are just good, decent people. You know what I'm saying? They made themselves uncompatible with men who are good people.
Well, look, the thing that I had with and even my dad, who I still rely on, he liked Kevin Samuels a lot because we're both kind of into dressing and that kind of thing. So I saw what he was doing, right? But my father said that, that high value thing really should have been rephrased as high quality. High quality is a better term than high value, because if you're going to really talk about what women should be looking for, like when I mentioned that, yeah, you could be looking at a guy that has the right financials, but what kind of character does he? Is he doing something with children? God forbid. Does he have like I said, a human head in his trunk? They don't ask that. The morality, the moral turpitude of that person is rarely mentioned. So I don't get it. High quality to me is a better word, but just as far as my social media stuff, I do have a YouTube page, but I'm preparing to go camera and get the whole thing going, kind of like what Mr. Fantastic is doing. I had a podcast for many years that you can look at, Block Talk. We interview quite a few notables on that podcast. So I'm in that blurred nerd space, but and there's a whole thing with that too. There's money there also. The nerds, black nerds, they don't talk enough about the tech people, the apps that are being built. There's a whole world.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get my project management certification right now. I'm trying to get my PMP, and I'm also trying to get my Scrum Master. So I would like to ask you a little bit about that, but I've been rambling too much, bro.
My Instagram too. My Instagram is also AfroNerd, AfroNerd _radio.
For sure, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna mute up, and eventually I'll just drop off. But yeah, man.
Brian, you
what's
a
good,
finance
bro?
guy?
Logistics and project management.
You do a lot of Excel?
Hell yeah.
What was your major if you went?
Yeah. So my undergrad was just straight logistics, and my master's was supply chain and project management.
Bruh, man, go get that. I'm kind of biased, but that certified financial analyst, I listened to that conversation that you was having in the beginning. I'm studying for that now. I finished my master's and all of that, and I'm about to sit for that CFA, man. Like it's
Man,
guaranteed.
you about to you about to be
Hold on a
back.
minute. So we got three brothers. I know Miss Fantastic has the military background, but we got three brothers that have advanced degrees. Isn't that fascinating? I have a master's degree as well. My BA is from Hampton in political science, and my
Right.
in public administration and government politics. So that we already have debunked what people may think. How three brothers on the phone? We have advanced degrees.
I have
What's
no
up?
idea.
What's up with that?
My main thing is I keep trying to say you ain't gonna defeat ghetto. Ghetto been codified. Every scenario has been game theory to where you know every interaction. I think you're not finna destroy that. The promotion of middle class black culture is what needs to be done. You know, that's really what's missing. And I want to just make one quick comment. I was agreeing with everything until he was like, "Hey, man, you don't need that degree." I hear you on that because I used to do carpentry, but something told me to look up the stats because whenever I hear, like education isn't bad, college isn't bad. So when I kept hearing, "Oh man, you don't need a degree, this, that, and the other," and it's specifically geared towards black men, I'm like, let me look up these stats. And what do you know? From 2010 to 2021, black males age 18 to 24 went from 16% participation in college to 36%.
I was a part of that. I was a part of that.
Yep, they're the fastest growing group enrolling in college out of everybody, bro.
I stand respectful, and that is true. I'm the biggest advocate for black men going to college. So respectfully, I stand corrected.
But I just don't understand where. I don't understand like why there has to be a either or. Like you still have your summers. Getting the trade, like if you go to ETI or anything like that, you'd spend 2 summers and you got a trade and you can come out with your degree at the end of 4 years. Like you can have a trade and a degree.
Definitely.
I don't like that whole pitting one against the other. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Well, let me get some context to that, right? So I know Brian, his would have been covered through GI Bill. Our thing is, and it's important that we stress this. Don't go into super duper fucking debt, student loan debt over a shitty degree. So what we stress is like if you're gonna go and get some bullshit ass degree and now you got hundreds of $1,000s in debt that you're never gonna make it up in a lifetime, don't do that.
Don't do that.
You're better off with. So it's not an anti-education thing, no college thing at all. Which I'm glad you came up to say this. We do need to stress that more because it's a whole lot easier for brothers to be like, oh fuck, I'll just get a trade. I'll never get a thing. Listen, man, some trades are more lucrative, but at the same time, hey man, nigga, you trying to be on that road 24/7, 365 thing? Real? You really trying to drive like that? Can you drive like that, brother? You feel me?
And your body, man, that shit's hard on your body, man.
Yeah, so it's all things, but just to give more context on that, it's not more so as anti-education as it is hey man, if you got somebody that's going to pay for it for you, by all means do it. If you can get it, internship program, or someone to give you scholarships, grants, all these different things, by all means go for it. But at the most part, like you said too, one thing that we're definitely stressing is understanding the importance of STEM degrees. Brian, Brian, you like in the hospital or something, brother. You got to allow that.
My bad, Joe. I'm a football fanatic, so forgive me.
Oh, okay.
That's all. I'm a football fanatic.
Oh, it is Thursday, right?
Yeah, man, that's. So I'm glad you brought that up, Dave. Like, say, yeah, man. I'm going to school now. So, like you said,
you using your GI?
Of course,
right.
Brother. Of course.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know what the deal is really is. It's more about having a plan. Like you need to have a plan. I'm all about the education thing. That was kind of beaten into me through my parents, right? Yeah. But at the same time, as time has gone on, I think it's more about getting certified, having a plan, and also checking into the educational sector. But I think black men there's a whole bunch of routes to success. Yeah. There's the excuse of, but the idea is to stay away from the criminality.
Yeah,
like that's where I'm like, it's enough, brothers. We're seeing just absurd death rates. I countless stories. I'm in New York, so I'm hearing all kinds of stories. But these young brothers are just shooting randomly, and I'm like, wow, your life is just ruined off of a nonsensical kind of thing. And they poke fun at the nerds. I speak a certain way, and it's just the way I speak. And I called up certain. I'm hesitant to call certain black YouTube channels because once they hear my voice, it's like, oh, here's this guy. I get this whole, they somehow I'm not even ADOS all of a sudden. So, oh, you must be Caribbean, and I have nothing against Caribbean folk. Still black people, but no, I'm just an educated cat. But I refuse to talk differently. I can't do ghetto speak well. I've been around white folks that speak ghetto speak better than me, so I don't pretend to be other than what I am.
Only because I'm not patient. Client facing all the time. So I like when I get into client facing, like if it's ever something like that, like on a project, it switches to where it's like, okay, it's super proper. But if I'm writing formulas and everything like that, people just happy. They leaving me alone. Like, just, can you do it? Can you do it? Okay. So I get a lot of leeway. But yeah, I know what you're talking about because I have to catch that switch. I have to catch it real fast. Like at the third sentence, like, oh man, I can't say got, it's have, and it's like, oh, okay, all right. We got to get back to
well, just to tell you something, like when I first spoke to Mr. Fantastic, my opening story was I spoke to another black man, and I still had to, we loosened up a little bit once we knew who we were on the phone, so it was kind of comical, and we even had the same last name, which was a clue, but heck, even, and I'll say this, just kind of as in confidence, Mr. Fantastic mentioned the co-host on The View, Sunny Hostin, right? Her husband is also a client. He's a medical doctor, right? And I spoke to him, and he was loosey-goosey with me because he kind of sort of knew who I was. Right. So you never know who you're speaking to on the phone. So it's just kind of funny. I've encountered quite a few people that, again, black people that do quite well. Even Mr. Fantastic's friend, I say friend in quotes, Chaotic Truth. We have our battles on his channel.
I love going up on Chaotic panel, boy.
Yeah, but I tell you, man, I'm having a difficult time going on there. I'm going to have to kind of. Yeah,
I used to be pissed, man, but once you realize it's
strange fellow that one.
And once you realize certain topics that they really can't talk about because it destroys whole arguments, it's fun. It's the funnest thing ever. I used to be just like that, like what the hell, you guys are nuts. But now
they don't deal with facts. If you speak,
no, they don't.
The most intelligent people that call in, which are few and far between. Look, he has people on the spectrum that call in. He treats them great. If you speak well and know your facts, he will cut you off. The whole cutting off and talking over people and those black YouTube spaces. He also allows a platform for white racists and that kind of thing. Yeah. I'm not with it. He's on something else.
I don't even mind because even with those type of people, the white racists and everything like that, you start talking to them and it like they realize like, oh man, everything I'm saying, this guy is not the one to be trying to play that with. It's fun to me because it's like, man, y'all nuts. I know nuts. I'm from Chicago, so it's like, man, y'all.
He would end up blocking. He would end up blocking me. He'll block the shit out of me. I ain't gonna hold you. He'll block my little Baton Rouge ass. He'll block the shit out of me, bro.
Yeah, but let me read these super chats real quick. Shout out to my man, Living Humbly. Appreciate you, brother, for coming a member.
You're too down with the gang. You're one of my members.
And shout out to my man, Fry for the 5. Greatly appreciate you, brother. Black women can only bond with a brother fucker or a thug versus other racist women. This actually trauma bonding that comes from slavery. I don't like the fucking nah, bro. You can't use a slavery excuse in 2024, bro. It's too much. Then I literally just heard somebody complain about black men not getting therapy and need to get therapy and they sick and tired of this and that and other shit. So no, motherfuckers don't get no slavery excuse for making poor mate decisions in 2024. But go ahead, KP, brother. Appreciate your patience.
What up, fantastic. Thanks for having me on. What up, fellas? I just want to say the whole thing about like your how, your speech, pronunciations of words, your tone. If you come off sounding like quote unquote sophisticated or white, in other words, the whole thing happened when folks started thinking or believing being hip and being cool was not being able to still be able to know shit and being educated, and not just in technical form, like you said, STEM and anything in school to better yourself in life, but just in general, you just knowing, reading a book. If you were a 10-year-old kid in the class of 20, if you were in the top class of the reading groups versus the third or fourth tier class, you were seen as a sellout. So imagine that impression on you at that age, at 10 or 11, being told, why are you trying to be like the white kids? Even if on my name, you know, white kids in your class.
Yeah, you're trying to be white because you can pronunciate, because you can read, like you said, you can read at or above grade level. And like you said, shout out to Afro Nerd, man. We definitely, that's what I say. We need to get to the point of doing that, bro. This praise and promotion of the nigga shit, bro, gotta stop.
Yep.
I think Afro, the way he what did you say? What did you call it, brother? How'd you phrase it? Promotion of middle class black lifestyle, or how'd you say it?
Yes, black culture.
Oh, Dave,
we're
was
not
Dave.
going to defeat ghetto culture.
Yeah, exactly. And Dave, I've been beating that drum for I don't know how long, brother. I'm just sick and tired of that being the representation of us, right? And clearly, like I said, it makes up a very, very small percentage, bro. Criminality, like you're saying, your criminality may be 5% statistically of the black community, and let's just double it and say 10. So the 10% is the representation and the loudest voice, and for whatever, like you said, what these women seem to gravitate to. I told y'all, man. Afro Nerd brought up the thing about these, bro. Literally, a dude that was a triple murderer, bro. But he had a triple 3 lives. He was in jail, 3 life sentences. He's never getting out consecutively, not concurrently, consecutive. So he gonna die, come back, die, come back. He gotta die again. Okay, before he can get out. This dude went viral, bro. He went viral, and women were, ooh, I'm gonna put money on his books and la la. And this wasn't no troll. This is real shit. These women were just infatuated with this nigga that had he been out, this regular guy, put him in a suit or working 9 to 5. Oh, lame ass nigga. Nobody care about your lame ass nigga because he got bodies. They trying to give them their body.
and fantastic. That goes to that point. Some women, not all, but some women, you can say most, want to live by the fantasy than live by reality. You know, the fact that the guy doing, you know, say triple life sentences, never getting out. They want the fantasy in their mind of when they send him a letter, pictures, put money on his books. Oh, I love, you know, visit him once a month, whatever. It's crazy versus them having the reality of dating a guy who's not in no form of illegal activity, let alone murder. No, that's too boring for me. I can't do that. And it makes you just say to yourself, what's the glitch? And we always talk about the glitch before. That's why I always say to some folks, it's hard for me to be led by somebody who has the mentality to a certain degree of a kid that thinks like that. There's no logical assessment or rational reasoning being put forth. So why am I going to be led by somebody who cannot honestly make rational decisions? They're going off their feelings. Oh, he's exciting.
Look, not to make Asian Doll an example, right? But Asian Doll, the rap artist, in quotes, she was on Twitter, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, and say that she can't date a man unless he has bodies.
Exactly.
She said it on Twitter, and I'm like, where are we going with this? What I don't understand what that means. I don't get that, man.
Here's the thing. The exact same playbook, the COINTELPRO, the actual targeting of the image that happened to the black man, that same script is being run on everybody else now. The exact same thing. So the way when the 80s and 90s and 2000s were kicking off and everybody was sitting there wondering, like, why is everything turning into thugging and all of this other type of stuff, and they're promoting this above everybody else? That's happening now to the woman. That's happening to pretty much everybody. But they're not going to be able to beat it until they lie to themselves so much to where they can't learn from who was originally ran on first.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you're seeing was ran on black men first, period. So when you're seeing all of these with black women, who's the spokesperson, you're saying this is ghetto and all of that, it's the same. You act like the CIA just stopped working.
Well, Dave, and that's what I say though. So my thing is with those things, and it's been like it's been proven. Hey, the whole the crack in the neighborhoods, the guns in the neighborhoods, all these different things. My problem with it though is now that we're aware of it, right, and we talk about it. I don't want to say at length, but have definitely highlighted that point and pointed out that being some of the reason for the criminality and the degradation of black communities to some degree. Not the majority, but to some degree. How is that play still working? You feel me? It's just like you do it. You change the motherfucking right sweep to a left.
Yeah.
Like, come on, and we're so many years in as to where.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest part of it is that black women are willing to go along with it as long as it keeps them over us. They don't.
Yeah, and fantastic. When it did the like you said about the Intel. I forgot what you called it. Yeah. They did it. So you know how they do with mice and stuff. They said, well, look at what this mice does in this scenario and environment with cheese, whatever they might use as bait. Same behavior type methods they use when they observed the black male and black female relationship going from the early 20th century up to the civil rights movement. They said they might be together at this time period, but there is a crack where we can take advantage of this because. And we all noticed this if you ever date with black women, whether dating wise or just in a regular regular day-to-day workplace environment, whatever have you, with school, whatever. It's the side eye. Meaning when someone gives you the side eye, mainly as a woman or man as well, but mainly from a woman, it's disrespecting her mind that she don't need to listen to you. So when they realized that was a very noticeable and prominent thing that always occurred with certain black women, they said, well, how can we make that more relevant? I'm not relevant more when that happens on a regular basis for more women. Because if we get less women respecting their men, therefore they'll come with the snake eyes or the side eye, to which they second guess and say, nigga, I can do this my damn self. And that mindset, everything else opens up. Simple and plain. That's the root to all other stuff that goes wrong.
Well, I'll say this. I think there's a great deal of social engineering going on with much of what's going on with black people. There's always been social engineering since 1619 with black people. There's a whole issue with us being able to control our imagery. And when you think of someone like Bill Cosby, we took a hit with Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby really did represent black middle class. He was the merger. He really represented the merger of education because he had a degree from Amherst, if I'm not mistaken. I even interviewed his Cosby collaborator, Dr. Alvin Poussant, who was a Harvard psychiatrist. If you ever looked at the closing credits for the Cosby Show, Dr. Poussant was prominent. As a matter of fact, when he was doing his book tours, Dr. Poussant was his right-hand man because he was the intellectual wing of what Cosby was doing. Look, Cosby he brought the whole jazz culture thing up front. He brought, he was really into the aesthetics of that middle class and upper middle class, ex-urban black family. And once of someone at his height, see, one thing that disturbs me is that black folks are getting so used to our crown acts being taken down. We don't think this is something that there's a social engineering effect. Who would think that someone of his height, they can take down Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Whitney Houston, Prince? Like, you think about all these people, when they get to such height, they have to go away. Who frequently, we do not see the white equivalent to such a degree. It's only when black folks get to that, and black males specifically. And what Cosby presented, he was literally the face of black middle class advancement. And when he went away,
Afro Nerd, like I said, and it was deliberate, right? And people will, because it should have been something that was never ever even happened, right? Whatever he did, it was agreed to from a legal standpoint and be sealed. But because, like you said, things were allowed to happen and purposely, you know, put that nigga in his place because the way he was doing it, and what we come to find out that actually was it. Once you reach that thing, it's still to where it's like, all right, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Jay-Z, still nigga, right? OJ type shit. But the sad part about it, like you said, Bill Cosby, man, represented just black male positivity overall. He was the first black dad. He was like the black dad, like you said, for you know, for mainstream. And then, you know, when all this stuff happened, man, you know, for, you know, the false claims, the claims that didn't make sense and all these different things. And, you know, hey, he was being honest. Listen, in that time, those things were allowed. Okay, it's something that everybody did, but now it's a profitable situation. And, you know, the Me Too, you couple that with the Me Too movement. Now you make him the face of, you know, motherfucking putting shit in bitches' drinks, you know, and now we have a female rapper come out and say, hell yeah, I did it, and I'll do it again. Yeah, no, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody said nothing. No counsel her, no nothing. She only got bigger since saying that. So, like you said, man, yeah, it's always been very, very tactical and diabolical approach, bro, to where our image is always under siege. And brothers, that's why I say we gotta understand it and do as much as we can do on an individual basis. Yeah, but at the same time being collective to you know what I'm saying, improve it and spread out the positivity.
I want to add to that. Fantastic. I remember we had a discussion a couple of weeks ago about the family dynamic or the family prototypes, and we would jokingly say if you came from a, like you said, upper class lifestyle where parents were professionals, were the Cosby Show. If they were middle class, dad might have been, like you say, a teacher or a police officer, mom was a secretary. That's Family Matters. And if you were downtrodden, just trying to get by, but I still think he was a great father figure. You were like Good Times, James Evans. Yeah, we all know the backstory on that, how they wrote him off because they didn't. Yeah,
he told that story. Hey, for shout out to John Amos, man. He told that story about how they pretty much just killed him off because they tried to turn it into some simp shit or like some weak ass, you know what I'm saying, bullshit. And he was like, nah, man, I can't. You know, I worked this many years to build this character up, and you guys are whatever. And he said, man, the dude didn't even give him the decency to like call him back or anything. They just wrote him off the show, man. Just killed him off. So
and that simplified where they try to show that they rather have it where, like you said, the mother was the single parent. Obviously, she was promiscuous or not smart about whoever she had children with. Now she's living in the projects. They said, no. She said, Eloise, I'm going to have, not Eloise, but
Esther Roll,
yeah, sorry, but thanks for correction. Said, no, I want a father figure in this show, or it's no go for me, because she was coming over from she would come from Maude with old girl from Golden Girls. So that tells you, we know the representation, what it means. And this is back in the 70s. They knew that a lot of folks were growing up in environments where their dad was either not in a picture or he was barely getting by to support the family. They needed something to give them uplift. Cosby Show in the 80s was beautiful, was perfect. But at the time, how many of y'all had family members, both that were professionals at that time, working, you know, when they lived in a nice brownstone? That was like,
no, of course not. Exactly. Yeah, that was, and but you know what though, at the same time though, KP,
it existed, but it was rare.
Yeah, man, but at the same time though, I think it was meant to be an inspiration, right?
Yeah, because like you said, with the different world, that helped promote folks want to go to college in the next generation.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I have to say, this is the first time I actually thought about it. There were a lot of African American people with brownstones like that, because the value still, I don't care how big it was, until gentrification came, it was only worth what somebody would pay for it. As I'm looking at it, like my grandma had a building, my uncle had a building. Like if you had the building, that's what you could rent it out to all the other cousins or aunties,
like Crooklyn type environment.
It wasn't that rare. It wasn't like commonplace, but it wasn't like a super outlier. Maybe theirs was, because theirs was huge. And
yeah. But
I'm from New York, so I can tell you right straight up that's a reality. You know, all of Harlem, Harlem and Brooklyn, that was Black life. It's just that the turnaround was like late 90s when you started asking $1 million for a show on a brownstone. But the original owners were black, and even to this day, you have black folks that are property wealthy, but because of the taxes, that's what kills you. So what's happening is and this goes to, I'll say this personally, even my neighbors are moving. I don't want to I'm not getting rid of my property, but my neighbors, they're flipping it. One of my neighbors returned last week to show me her house in North Carolina. Her house would definitely be a $3 million house in New York, but she flipped her house, my next door neighbor, because her mother died. So she came back to let me know that her mother had passed. But her house, she told me, her house was like 3-car garage and all that. But that's what's going on.
I ain't worried though. I really ain't. Like, I remember how this shit all started. I remember when I'm not too hard on Pookie because I know that she done ran through everybody else. That's the last one left. And it's like a narc. You're gonna get discarded and everything like that. I'd be worried. Like, man, what is it? Certain groups and segments. But I remember when the corporate 9-to-5 black man was the first one to get on. And they was shitting on everybody else, and everybody was mad at him. And then it flipped. Like, the corporate 9-to-5 black man went through everything first, from divorce to child support to everything. and then the hood dude started making a ton of money. My problem is that you ain't gonna be able to build no major economy until, like I see it, like the only reason why everybody, like, it's all these delineations is because of the bitch that made the line. And I think once niggas understand it, she fuck everybody. Y'all, not y'all, I don't mean y'all, but everybody wouldn't be so like the trades, the trades versus college, thug versus this, that, and the other. I think that a lot of that division is fermented over. I remember it. I remember when dudes was telling the girls, like, that's a hoe over there, and you a good girl. And the mantra, and they won that water. The rally cry was, if she a hoe, then I'm a hoe, and we all hoes. And they won. And and now at this point, it's like, why y'all calling us hoes and everything? But nobody's gonna tell a story about when niggas, like, we lost that battle. I remember.
Bro, let me tell you something. I'm out of that equation. The hair hats, I'm gonna say it like it is. The hair hats, the tattoo sleeves, the thigh tattoos. I'm done. I'm not even looking at. If they hate me, if you see some white pedicured feet in my passenger seat, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. It's a Latina pedicured feet. You know what I'm saying? In my passenger seat, I don't want to hear it because I'm done. I can't have some wild cosplay redhead and some tattoos and all that kind of stuff. I'm not built for that, and I don't find it. I find it repulsive, actually, and I'm seeing too much of it. But they're gonna make that a correct thing. They're just riding with that. And brothers have made it very clear. They want a woman that's fit. You don't necessarily have to be a beauty queen, but you need to look attractive and presentable. But wearing this, you're a black woman wearing just a straight blonde wig publicly. It's like, when is this clown show going to end? So I remain just quiet about it. I'm not really. I will critique it on this show, but as far as my private life and just kind of just walking around, I just nod my head. I don't even comment on it anymore. It used to make me angry. I just thought that's what they want to do.
I say it like this, if you put yourself out like a side piece, you get treated like a side piece. So a lot of women who say, well, I'm wifey material, and as you just described, if you have on a certain type of hairstyle, a certain type of whatever, tatted up around your arms, thighs, everywhere else, I get it. You're 21, 22, you'll be a little wild. But when you get that age of 28, 29, 30, now you want to settle down and want to be found to be decent, to be marriage material, best believe guys that are reasonably minded are going to observe you, and they're going to put you in that category. Either you're going to be the main girl, the good girl, or you're gonna be the fun chick or the side chick. One of the two, one or the other. I mean, it's just what it is. And a lot of women sometimes don't want to realize, oh, I could be both. No,
I don't think you understand, bro. It's not stupidity. It's like saying
it's like the pick me thing. A lot of the ones that say women that are trying to keep themselves decent and reasonable. I'm not saying they gotta be virgins or nothing like that, or even celibate for 3 or 4 years. They call them pick me's. They say, "Why, girl? Why aren't you out here doing your fun girl summer or hot girl summer?"
Exactly.
I'm like, you want to be Megan Thee Stallion? Come from a single parent household where her dad's in prison for the last 20 some odd years. Go right ahead, live that lifestyle. All right. And yeah, she went to college, got her degree and all that, but she still, and this goes beyond the whole fact about education. You could be a janitor, but read decent literature and be a janitor. Or you could be the bank manager and be ratchet as hell and have 2 or 3 degrees. To me, your profession matters to a certain degree, but it still all depends on your overall character and sensibilities as a person. Because I've been around a lot, you see the women that become judges in legal fields or doctors, attorneys, whatever that professional fields.
They're getting sloppy
it matters about your credit and your overall behavior. They feel like their stuff don't stink. So they might as well be a bartender at your local club.
Quite a few high profile black women judges and in the legal field, they're sloppy too. They're even involved in that ratchet culture too.
Yes.
That ratchet culture thing.
The Fanny chick down in Georgia, perfect example. She might as well be the lady at the DMV office saying next.
Well, look,
attitude.
If you remember when Ice Cube came out with his plan for Black America, and I have a problem with that also. I mean, I don't think it was a good look for someone called Ice Cube to present a policy.
Finally, somebody's saying what I always thought.
He should have he should have said he was O'Shea Jackson and put on a suit. Okay, but he still had his hoodie on and looked like he was kind of smoked out, and he wants to be representing Black America as Ice Cube. That's like Donald Duck or any other kind of business name. That's like Donald Duck or Ronald McDonald. Someone called Ice Cube presenting a black policy. But anyway, the reason why I'm mentioning him is that I will say this: that Fox with Queens thing with what's her face, the actresses. You remember it went viral.
Yeah, Cocktails with Queens, the Foxhole, Biblical Fox, the other girl, and I always forget her name, but fucking.
Well, we know who we're talking about. Vivica Fox and the Brat's half sister. Yeah. I forgot her name. And anyway, when he was saying, look, this is for the black family. He was saying some of the right things. They said, what about black women? And he said, isn't the black family? Doesn't that include black women? And they rebuffed him. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is. Can black men be separate like that? Are we allowed to kind of separate ourselves from the black community? So that's like maybe 2 years ago. That was a hint of there's a separate black female culture. There's a separate women's culture, but there's also a separate black females culture. And I'll land on this. Black women is very rarely mentioned. Black women are moving in a certain direction because they are subsidized. They are sponsored. No one. Goldman Sachs is not giving us any money as black men.
Well,
they are subsidized.
Goldman Sachs has to give that money. It's not a gift. So when 2008 hit, Goldman Sachs turned into a depository institution. Before it was just an investment bank. Once it turned into a depository institution, it had to abide by all the federal statutes in banking. And one of them is if you're doing business in certain areas or you're taking a certain amount of deposits due to the historical grievances with black folk, you have to give out a certain amount of loans to black folk. It's not
it benefited single black women more likely when they applied for, say, a house loan versus them being
we went
married.
over that. So the Goldman Sachs thing, we went over that money is earmarked, but it only has to be paid out if they meet the qualifications. So what happens is it's a promise that they don't have to live up to, because most of the stuff that they're requesting, like you can't be everybody can't open up a hair salon, right? I forget when I read it, but I reread it this year. We went over there to actually get into the details of it, the minutia. And it's and yeah, they offered that money and they pledged that money, but they haven't even given out, like, you know what I'm saying, a decent percentage of it at all yet. You know what I'm saying? It's just over the time, but it's simply because, again, the business owners that are giving them the business proposals don't qualify. So yeah, it's there, but black women aren't just out here, you know, partnering with Goldman Sachs like they have us think so. But let me give my man Truck in here. Truck, what's up, bro?
Well, good evening. How's everybody doing?
Can't complain, man.
Yeah, originally I was gonna jump in on your subject, you know, about penis envy with white women specifically. If you know, they date black men, nobody wants them. It's like I've got coworkers, for example, and you know, I have one in particular who was married to a black dude, and they ended up getting divorced or whatever because I think he had issues. He was like a mama's boy or something. That's what she told me anyway. And she ended up getting married, and you know, she got married late and everything, and she got married to this white dude. And I was actually amazed that he'd marry her because it seems to me like, you know, he wouldn't want to. But, you know, ultimately, white men in this country are going through the exact same thing black men are going through. Feminism got them too. So they're getting their passports and they're doing what black men should have done 20 years ago, and they're going overseas to get wives from overseas. I personally think the further black men move away from black women, I think the better off we'll be. You could start your own community, and you won't have a ratchet ass wife. You not none of these, you know, baby mama, baby father situations and shit. And that's ultimately the only real move that you really have at this point. That's personally what I believe. You know, I'm seeing more and more. That seems to be the best possible option. And I don't know, Fantastic, if you talked about my mayor getting indicted today. I didn't know if you got to that. This whole shit about every single time you take down a black man, they're replacing you with a fucking Hispanic woman. And I'm like, you saw it because what my chancellor was black. He was a black man, right? They replaced him with a Hispanic woman. It's like that's all they got.
What did he get in? What was the indictment for?
All right, so basically, Eric Adams, before he was even mayor, they had been looking at him since 2014. The feds, right? They claimed that he was taking bribes and he was basically practicing nepotism. They claimed that Turkey paid him or talked to him, and he nudged the embassy qualifications along from the FDNY. They claim that he basically made one call and say, hey, could y'all guys hurry this up because the FDNY hadn't cleared out a certain building for them. And basically, again, you know, and what's crazy is I'm in New York and they keep taking down men in general and replacing them with bitches. They did it to my governor. What was it? Cuomo. He didn't fight. He rolled over. Now this bitch Alexandria Occasional Cortex, this bitch is up there telling him he should fucking resign and everything. And it's like, I'm like, yo, don't resign. Fight that shit. Make them fight you. But I don't think he's gonna resign. I think he's actually gonna fight. But the thing about it is, as a black man, it's like if you've got power, somebody's coming to take it. Whether it's a black woman or somebody else, somebody's coming to take that shit from you. And if you're in general, if you're married to one of these bitches, it's like playing Russian roulette at this point. You're better off. You have to maintain the power. So if that means you get your passport, you roll down to Dominican Republic, whatever it is, you go down to the jungles of Colombia, you get to the poorest, youngest chick with dirtiest feet you could possibly find. That's what you have to do.
So where do you go? Where
do I go? I go to Southeast Asia specifically. I look for the most impoverished possible, no human rights women that you could possibly find, because I refuse to end up in a family court like these niggas who are getting railroaded by these bitches. I refuse. I that will never happen to me. You have to maintain the power. Now, you don't have to get married, but you just got to maintain your power. And the thing about it is you're not going to be able to do that with these chicks in America because this government has clearly showed you that.
So do you live in the States?
Oh, no. I absolutely live here in the States, but when I have the chance, I'm out of the country. And when I retire, I'm leaving. I'll rent out my properties. People can live here. I'll just push my shit into like one room or something. And they can live here and I can rent it out and they can just pay me and I'll be overseas. And that'll be it. I'll find me the poorest possible village I could find. I'll live like a king.
Okay, bro. Let me say this. I'm a New Yorker too, so I'm familiar with the Eric Adams story.
Yes.
It's not great. I mean, his administration was being looked at. So he was like the final piece that fell. So I hope it works out for him, but I'm just kind of tired of seeing some of these brothers. I mean, Puffy is another New Yorker that is going down. He's infamous. I don't want to go into his stuff, but
keep in mind, the only smart one was Russell Simmons. He packed his shit, got his passport. He's in Bali right now. I was just in Bali. I was in Bali over the summer looking for him. I met him before. He came here. He came into one of the schools after school during summer school, and I actually met him. I took a picture with him. He was a weird dude. Like he had the kids fucking doing that meditation shit. And I was like, what the fuck? I thought you were going to talk to them. But he didn't talk to them. He just had them meditating. But now he's hiding out in Bali. And he was the smart one. He said, I'm not waiting around for that bullshit. You ain't getting me.
Well look, this is just...
You think they're going to extradite? You think they would?
Yeah. Nah. No. Not that they don't have an extradition where he went. That's why he purposely picked it.
That's right. That's what you got to do. You got to go to the non-extradition company. Listen, if you ever need to run, Russia will take you. Yep. If you ever need to run.
I don't know. Did that work out for Snowden? Snowden went to Russia. I don't know if that worked out for him.
No. Wait. Snowden is doing fine. It's the other guy, Assange, who got fucking caught, but he got caught, I think it was in South America. Snowden is fine. Snowden is doing just fine. He's safe. America can't get him.
Well, look, I'll say this much. I think that the smart move for black men specifically would be to kind of control your loins. I know it's a hard thing to do.
Oh, come on, bro. Bro, listen, if you're a black man, every woman wants a piece of that. That's what this whole thing about. Fantastic's whole thing about is penis envy. It's not the white men fucking hate us. The Asian men really hate us. And Hispanic guys are not happy because we're all taller than they are for the most part. Have you ever been around an Ecuadorian? The motherfuckers are short. So the thing about it is, it's like we are lucky in that physically we are superior to most of these other people. If their women are coming for us and their women are literally telling us, it's like, yo, listen, they want to try that. But their men are telling them, if you try that, I'm not ever talking to you again, and this, that, and the other. It's like we're in a very special position. We have a chance to beat white supremacy.
We can beat white supremacy, but we can't do it if they're going to always catch you in the sexual thing. We've been doing this since Jack Johnson and the Mann Act. This has been going on for. So what I'm saying is, we can't continue to be Charlie Brown, knowing that Lucy's going to remove the football when you try to kick it. Like at some point,
that's what a man is. Men are all fucking Charlie Brown.
No, but
all women are Lucy.
But wait a minute. We're also thinking people. Now, look, I love women.
Might be right and said, I had
all of them.
But what's going to happen is you're going to always be taken down. It's always going to be a problem. You can be. They can telegraph your moves if you keep on acting this way. This is really a masculine problem, unfortunately. And look, I love the ladies too. I get it. Trust me, I get it. And when I think about certain situations, I'm lucky to be alive because I was following my what. But I'm saying after you start seeing these major takedowns where your dynasty is going, your finances have to go. Was it really worth it? Puffy has a room full of Puffy had a room full of baby oil, brother. Come on now.
But you got to understand, Puffy was rich. He was rich people. Well, okay, regardless if that shit was illegal or not, the bottom line is rich people tend to fall into sexual deviancy in general. It doesn't matter what color you are, because at a certain point, the money doesn't give you a positive reinforcement anymore. So therefore, you end up in sexual deviancy. And that tends to happen with most rich people anyway. No, the bottom line is, if you don't have a stable family and you don't have stable children, yeah, you have no legacy. It doesn't matter what you leave behind, because it's going to get squandered. It's going to get wasted. So the black man's problem right now is you've got a woman who's actively fucking competing against you and waiting to put a knife in your back and take half your shit. That's your problem. Now, if you have kids, your other issue is, how do you keep your kids on the right and narrow when these other people's kids who they're going to want to interact with are fucked up? So it's like, if you don't create your own community of like-minded blacks, like the League of Distinguished Gentlemen, then you have no legacy. There's nothing you can leave behind. Everything is going to get taken back by the government.
Well, like I said, that we have men, especially white men, that are getting caught up in the same way. But I'm seeing, but the difference is that the black man is going to jail for it. For every one Weinstein,
white man's not going to jail. White men are going to jail.
Danny Masterson went to jail. Weinstein hung himself.
White men are going to jail.
Dude, Epstein.
No. Epstein supposedly killed himself. Weinstein is still on trial. He got released and then he's back on trial again, and he's still doing jail time. But some of the charges were reduced or dropped or something like that.
But we're also seeing some white males are able to, go through these charges and come out of it where they still maintain some of their wealth or most of their wealth.
Yeah, like Iron Man, Downey Jr.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. was basically financially destroyed before Marvel picked him up. But the thing about it is, again, he's a white man. He's got some connections, and they were able to squeeze his ass in there, and he was able to make a comeback. Probably the greatest comeback ever. If you really think about it.
CBS's Les Moonves was received money after he was ousted from CBS. What's his name? Matt Lauer was paid off. Look at it. I think he's still kind of sort of in the news. Bill O'Reilly. Like, there's a fair share of white men that went through some heinous allegations, and they still maintain. Yeah, they still maintain money. Black men, you're not going to get the same breath.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you there, but you also have to remember the whole point of liberal feminism is destroying patriarchy. This is a fucking war, whether you want to believe it or not. The entire point of liberal feminism is tearing patriarchy down. That's the entire point. So when I say patriarchy, what do they have to attack? They have to attack your money. They have to make it so that they get their step up by tearing your shit down. That's just the reality of it.
Well, the offensive part also is that black males, because of our situation from the beginning, is that if anyone needs a patriarchy, it's black men. When you saw what happened in Baltimore, Baltimore with Freddie Gray, and what was that, 2015?
Well, Freddie Gray, that was where his spine was severed and shit from fucking being on the cop van, and I think they drove it around the corner real fast like you do in Grand Theft Auto.
But my point is that what happened in the aftermath of what happened to Freddie Gray, you saw the Baltimore erupt, and it looked like a black Lord of the Flies. All you saw was young black men in chaos, and there was an instance where a black mother made the news because she snatched up her son to prevent him from running with the gangs. But when you go into her story, she was someone who had a lot of kids, maybe multiple fathers, and they applauded her because she, quote unquote, saved her son. What I saw was no black male patriarch.
No black father. Where's the father? But guess what? They don't ask that question in the media. Their job is to portray black men in chaos. That's the problem. They don't notice how James Earl Jones died, and almost nobody knew that this man had a white wife. Notice how most of these rich black men who stay married and stay rich, Clarence Thomas, Dave Chappelle, even Eddie Murphy at this point. Notice how most of these dudes are not married to black women, and you don't even realize it until they're gone, or they die of natural causes or whatever. The simple reality
that's a great point, because again, they swear that black men like flaunt their their wives of different races and cultures, demographics, or whatever to black women. Like you said, man, bro, a man gets married, bro, and he's just trying to live his life. Again, and of course, if and when it's possible for him to celebrate his wife, he does. But the crazy part about it is, and I told you guys, the triple I syndrome black women have, right? Intrinsic inferiority and insecurity complex they have, right? To where anything that a black man does with a non-black woman is poking the eye or a jab or a taunting of black women. When that's not it at all. Like the brother, like I said, we're like light years away from that. But for the original post of the brother that married the white girl, that shit turned Twitter upside down, bro.
Look at Lance Reddick. You remember Lance Reddick, the guy on John Wick, who was the fucking the Mater D
and
Frank.
Yeah, he was also on The Wire, the bald head dude, the bald head black dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is most of these really successful black men are successful mostly because they have intact marriages, and for the most part, they're not marrying black women for the most part. And the ones who do tend to have the most issues, either controlling her or keeping her ass from divorcing them. And you don't even know about it until they're dead. And when they're dead, all of a sudden their whole family all of a sudden their family who you never thought about, hidden from sight, all of a sudden they show up. I never knew James Earl Jones had a white wife. Never knew.
That was well known. No, they dragged him a little bit because there's video when he was much younger, like around 69, right around the time he did The Great White Hope, where he had a whole diatribe about not really being able to be with a black woman. You can look it up. He was being dragged a little bit. That was a pretty well-known viral thing more than 50 years ago when you see a young James Earl Jones openly discussing white women versus black women, why he ended up with a white woman. That's on YouTube, by the way. So, I mean, but I stay away from that necessarily. I think what we really need to be talking about is character of the woman. Because
absolutely.
Well, let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. So the issue is that what you oftentimes are being told is that if you deal with someone who's not black, that that person can't be pro-black. And when you actually go into it, that's not really an accurate thing. When you think of someone like Frederick Douglass' first wife was a black woman. His second wife was a white woman, right? But that white woman ended up being a teacher at my alma mater, Hampton University, one of the most prominent HBCUs in the country. So he was being woke with his wife in the late 1800s. We know Sidney Poitier. We know that Harry Belafonte, especially, was hard in the paint for black people and black culture, but had white wives. So that whole thing about you having to have it depends if you have a woke in quotes white woman versus having some ratchet black woman that may not be in the paint for black people at all. So it's character. You can't. That whole thing is that this person's never going to be able to be with the black people. Just because you marry or date a person of a different ethnicity doesn't stop you from being black. How do you stop from being black because your mate is not black? See, that's not really.
No, but whoever
is Kamala black?
No, Kamala's the goddamn Indian. We're gonna send her ass back to Calcutta.
No, come on, man. Let's not do that either. Because
she's Indian. She's not black.
Hold on.
Nah, because I'm hearing a lot of. I guess Shorty, what's her face? Candace did something and was explaining all type of shit. She was like, "Who is Bertle?"
Bertle.
Indian.
You're starting to see people who, if you dig into their biography, their blackness could be questioned. So when you think of like even Janet Jackson, well, your brother went through his changes, and you went through your changes. I remember the Jackson 5 when they first came out, versus how they ended up, and the pictures look different, right? Also, with someone like Kamala Harris went to an HBCU, our rival Howard, 40 years ago. So if you're gonna be really honest and accurate, she might be critiqued for being a black boule. But you can't turn around and say that somebody is confused about where she is when she went to a black college and joined it and hold on. No, but she's still prominent with the AKAs to this day.
But that doesn't mean anything. They got white AKAs, they got white deltas. That doesn't mean shit. You go to the school and you try. Rachel Dolezal is blacker than Kamala ever will be.
Well,
Rachel Dolezal, you know what?
We can disagree with the ones.
Rachel Dolezal got her black card by literally marrying a black man and having black children. What did Kamala get with? White man got himself a bunch of stepchildren that's not even her. She's a childless Catwoman. No, man, I refuse to accept that. Why is it that when we get these quote unquote black candidates, it's always a pseudo black or quasi black? My father's black, my mother's black. Why is it always somebody who comes from Hawaii or somebody fucking India or somebody's Jamaica or some shit? Why is it I can't just point and say, yeah, my father's from South Carolina and my mother from North Carolina? Why is it always some pseudo or quasi fake ass fucking black person who look like she work at 7-Eleven? Why?
Well, let me pause it. Let me say this, right? We got to be careful. I like to talk accurately on the mic, right? So if we're going to start questioning, we know what a black American is, right? A black American is if you have African ancestry of whatever degree in this country because of the virulent racism, you are black. Right?
That includes white people too. That includes white people too.
Well, yeah, white-looking black people. Yes, it does.
What do you mean African ancestry?
Everybody has African ancestry. That's where we all came from.
Okay, I'm not gonna get into that argument. I'm just gonna forget I even heard it. Keep going.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you're going to start putting these people in line and trying to qualify and quantify their blackness, why do we never put the minstrels, the Cardi B's or the Sexy Reds or the Nicki Minaj's and the criminals? Those people, their blackness is never really questioned. See, I'm more concerned about black people representing themselves and not embarrassing me versus someone who you say can't be black and Indian or black and Samoan. That's not the truth. What are you doing? What are you saying? And don't embarrass me. Let's start putting those people who are public embarrassments, that are killing us in their communities, that are really doing things to us. We left them off the hook continuously. That is a problem.
Hold on. Let me say this real quick. So Cardi B actually has been challenged her blackness or whatever, bro, and it's the same thing of Kamala Harris at I would say a lesser importance, but I say it the same fervor. I do not agree with the thing about Kamala being black, quote unquote. Again, we can't just give that out and hand that out, and especially when we know that it's being weaponized against black people for political power, you know what I'm saying, and influence. So we have to get away from that, where someone could just and again, Barack Obama was a perfect example of this. Barack Obama was a African. He wasn't black. He was a half African. He had an African dad, a Kenyan dad, and a white mother. He didn't grow up in the black experience. You know what I'm saying? He didn't associate with black people. And like I said, he allegedly he married his black wife for political reasons. Again, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there's somebody has a fucking love letter he wrote to some white man. He had sexual, whatever for. Yeah, you didn't hear about that, brother? That's official.
Nobody heard of that.
Google it. Hold on. Google it. That's not fake news. It's not no fake news. Google it. It's not fake news, bro.
If you even try to post that shit, there'll be fact checks up the ass for it.
Okay, brother, it exists. That's the part.
I'm not telling you it doesn't exist. I'm just saying that unless
of course, they're gonna have excuses for it, but
all I'm saying is unless it's headline news, it's not news. Unless
either way, of course. Just like his all of his assistants that got broke wrists keep dying. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's not Tuesday.
Broke wrist.
Yeah, man. Just that whole thing, man. I can't get down with the fucking. She's gonna have to give me, and then like you said, shout out to Candace Owens for doing a great job, and she's been exposed to lying before. Afro Nerd, when she said she was in fucking college listening to Tupac and Snoop Dogg, and they were still in motherfucking high school or middle school. Fucking Kamala Harris is like, you know what I'm saying, way older than them.
What's her name? Candace Owens. The problem is Candace Owens has been marginalized because she went after the small hats. So she could say whatever she wants about Kamala Harris right now. All she's doing is reaffirming the decided voters who are going to vote against Kamala Harris anyway. as far as I'm concerned, Kamala Harris is nothing but a blank slate for Israel. Anybody who's against these wars, they really should be voting for Trump, because this guy was literally threatened to disband NATO, for God's sakes. Now, I understand that he might be a little friendly to Israel, but Kamala Harris is nothing but a blank check for that and for Ukraine. I want to see these wars end. I don't care who wins. I don't care who loses, because I already know we lost. But the bottom line is, if you vote for Kamala Harris, that's like saying, yeah, let's keep this shit going up until Vladimir Putin decides to fire a nuke over here.
Well, look, I think as black men, and this is what this panel represents, we need to kind of figure out what we need to do on our own, because all we have is us. I mean, I don't really agree with a lot of what you said, but that's fine. We can contour and contrast. That's okay. But my main thing really is I don't really expect someone of whatever blackness they come in with to be able to be a panacea for everything. I don't think that's going to happen. Well, look, Jackie Robinson broke the color line in 47. It took a long time for you to get from a Jackie Robinson to a LeBron James as far as a athlete having access. This belief that a black person comes in, no black first is ever going to be able to do anything. So I was okay with Barack Obama, but for him just not embarrassing me.
Yep.
That was his job.
That's all I wanted from him.
Because this idea,
get out of there alive.
Yes.
So that, you know what? That's really racism. Low expectations. That's what the real racism is now. The real racism is that if it's a black person, that you have no expectations for this dude except that he speaks well. That's pathetic. And the thing about
that's not accurate.
That's
not
what
what I was
racism
saying.
is. Low expectations on this brother.
No, it wasn't about his expectations. It's about him doing the job, not doing anything crazy like getting indicted like our mayor passport. So let's keep it 1,000.
Well, our mayor the issue is because he went up against Democrats.
What I said was that we as black people have to stop this thing about looking at one singular black person who becomes a first in something and believing that person could be a cure-all for that. You have to do what you have to. You have to do what you have to do. Hold on, it's 46-1. We can't expect. It's 46 presidents. One was black. So that right within itself tells you the dynamics of this country. Believing that a black person gets to power and he's supposed to pay your bills and all these ridiculous things that I've seen black people request of a president is absurd. When you look at the Asian community, the Asian community is quasi not apolitical, but they get it done.
They don't know. The reason why the Asian community is apolitical is because, number one, they've come from countries where they've got shit under control. China doesn't have to worry about a Chinese American running here. India doesn't have to worry about an Indian American running here. They have an entire country to themselves. Fuck America. They've got their own flag, for God's sakes. No, my issue with somebody like Barack Obama is the fact that, first of all, he didn't do anything for the black community while he was there. Kamala Harris is basically threatening not to do anything for the black community either. So these people are getting in based solely on the media shaping your opinion towards these people. So when Barack Obama was up there, all they talked about was how well this nigga speaks. When Kamala's up there, they can't even do that because she doesn't speak well, and she's a shitty politician. So she's not. Let me
walk this down, bro, because they've been gaslighting us for so long to think that we got influence over something mathematically. We can't have influence, bro.
Stop watching MSNBC. Stop watching CNN.
Gang banging, bro.
They
deleted the numbers.
Stop watching these goddamn MSNBC.
The only way African Americans ever had power was through coalitions.
No, I know.
The one thing with coalition, if you are the majority, like this is you have to even say that we have a huge sway in any day in this country in politics. It's absolute gaslighting. They've been gaslighting us for decades, dog.
African Americans never had power in this country, ever. Any power you think that you had was an illusion. They gave you a fucking a mirror and they say, yeah, look at this shit and you're the king, and you're not. And there's somebody else behind that shit. African Americans never had power here. And I'll wager this. They never will. That's the thing. Because right now, you're being replaced by illegal immigrants. So you never will have power here. Your best bet is to go to some quiet part of the country or the earth, somewhere else, and just start a family there, because you're never going to have fucking power here. Ever. Especially if you're a black man. It's not going to happen.
Or just be global, dog. Like you're saying leave and go somewhere. I never understood why. Like, you're a traveler. You know that the airplane refuels and comes back, right?
No. The airplane refuels when it goes over there. If it has to come back, it comes back. Otherwise, it goes someplace else over there. It never has to come back.
It touches like the plane. You can get a round trip ticket. That's basically what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, or you could get a one-way ticket and you can park the shit over there. And you can
be dual citizenship like everybody else does.
The reason why I say either leave and just accept that you're not going to have what you want here is simply because you're not. And that's the reality. Because even if you did set up all your big business and you set up this and you set up that, at the end of the day, who are you going to leave it to? Because you can't marry one of these women and have kids with her, because she'll slit your throat. She'll fucking stab you in the back out of ego to take your shit, half your shit, or maybe all of it, for all I'm saying. No, you're better off leaving. This place has nothing for you. This place never had anything for you. It just never did.
Respectfully, Passport. I don't agree with that. I think that there are other ethnicities. We can't have this one man out kind of thing. We're kind of singling ourselves out.
I want you to leave too. I want you to come with me.
It's like this. We have like 12 or 13 generations in, as far as an investment, as far as ADOS, FBA, Black folks, if you're going to use that acronym, right? So my belief is, I would concede to your point if I can see no way that Black people, especially Black men, can't get it together for ourselves.
They can't.
But you're being defeatist.
I'm being realistic.
But can we see a moment in time where Black men? Because I want to see that, because I think it would frighten people. That's the whole thing. The self
never control their schools. Black men will never control their neighborhoods. Black men will never control their states. That's the simple fact of the matter.
But hold on. The self-actualized
Passport.
I'm sorry, what?
Say it again, Truck.
Black men will never control their neighborhoods. Black men will never control their households. Black men will never control their states. You can't even punish the Black men who are doing wrong to make your neighborhood safer, because their laws are above you. And even your own women are voting to stop the persecution of Pookie and fucking Ray Ray. If you can't even control your own neighborhood, what good do you have controlling anything? All that shows. Why do you know what? I'll just stop right here. Black women don't respect you because you have no power. It's just that simple. And I'll stop right there. Go ahead. Keep going.
All right. So you may have a point about us not having power, and that therefore we're not getting respect for that. That I wouldn't argue with. But what I would tell you,
no.
I think that
let me hop in real quick. No, Truck, that's bullshit. Mexicans don't have no motherfucking powers, and the women respect them. Fucking when the Indians and the fucking Chinese people get over here with fucking nothing, the women still respect them.
They come from a country.
Hold on. Don't matter. Mexico is a country, ain't it?
Yeah, but their men and their families come from a country. What happens if they go back to that country? If they go back to that country, their own family will put them down. If they disrespect these men, what would listen? I can give you 100 examples.
We can't go. But Truck, we can't. We're not even going to go that route because we can't. We can't do that.
No, can't. No, but that's my point. You have no control. You have no control.
Huh, Truck? I understand that, but
hold on. Let me just say this: if these Indian women come over here and disrespect the Indian man, or these Muslim women come over here and disrespect the Muslim man, or these Mexican women come over here and disrespect the Mexican man, when they go home, that's an honor killing. Yo, we can't do that shit. They can. Okay.
Yeah, and we don't. And for the record, we don't want to do that. What I'm saying, though, Chuck. Well, yeah, I definitely. So, So, but listen, no,
know,
what I'm saying is this, bro. That's not an excuse. When you get here, you play by American rules. Those women are protected by the same laws that black women are protected by, and you know, so black women are making a choice, bro. They're making a fucking deliberate choice to
Stab
say
us
that
in the back.
black men are
Stab us in the
insufficient.
back.
Yeah, that's what
Stab
I'm
us in the back.
insufficient. So
Can I break something down?
it's not an excuse or fact about the whole not having power thing, because lesser men than us still get more cooperation and respect from the women attached to them. Go ahead, Afro Nerd. My bad, brother.
Let me break something down, and this is just my opinion. All right. So when I see how black women are moving, right, just kind of a sense, the zeitgeist, how black women are moving, I sense what is oftentimes referred to as a kind of solipsism, right? Meaning it's the worship of self. You know, black goddess, you're yes queen. You know, it's a lot of that, right? So my concern is, well, will there ever be a point where we see black male solipsism? What would that look like? We have not been able to see that. So I'm not defeatist like that. Maybe I will not be alive to see it, but I would be curious, because there have always been a fear, a real fear by everyone, including our own women, of a self-actualized black masculine man. Now, I like to see that. I'm attracted to that, even for my own personal comportment and my own personal framework. Keep maintaining masculine frame. So I'm not going to be defeatist like Passport Bro, respectfully, because I know that deep down there is a fear. When you're in the corporates, I'm 6'2", right? When I'm in the corporates, I feel like, he's talking too long to that white woman. Why is that white woman going to his desk? Why is he, I sensed that a long time ago. There's this thing about us. So,
yeah, man, you got a lot of them going to your desk, man. We all seen that, bro.
But you gotta understand, we're in America. There's a feminist wave. They're gonna temper. Like
how long is that gonna fly though?
It's gonna
how long?
Until we have like a nuclear war or some shit.
Yeah, listen. They're always gonna try to temper men's masculinity and shit like that. They're going to try to do that shit, because the thing about it is, like especially like black women, right? Black women, there's 2 more million of them than there is us. So they're at a complete deficit right now. Like, they really know that their behavior has to be much better, but I guess there's enough sense to tell them that they don't.
What's wrong with your mic?
Yeah, your mic. Hey, Triple Black, drop out and come back in. You're doing that weird burping thing, bro.
I think the odd man out thing for black people and black men specifically has got to go somewhere. Yeah, you're screwing up a little bit.
I don't know. I particularly like having the ability to just not blend in the shadows or nothing like that, but like the mystery part. Because I'm more renegade. Like all of that. My take is I'm seeing. I just don't want to step in them. It's other people fighting, basically. And when other people fight, you try to jump in the middle of it. It's always the person jumping in the middle of it that get hit first. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even a fight. That's how I look at kind of like these politics. That's how I kind of look at it with the whole societal, issues going on with genders, all of that. Because it's like, you don't want to jump in the middle of something that you ain't finna get no gain out of. Like, I got kids, so all the ifs. I want it to be for the future. It's already here. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm asking Truck about like, hey, which place is good, not for what you were saying because of extradition, but a place for me to chill and all that other type of stuff. And if my kids wanted to go global, you know what I'm saying? Like, America is my home, but God damn it, this is a campaign. You know what I mean?
Well, the technology has proven that, yes, there's a global element. I mean, we can be and we are global. Our image is global,
Right?
But the image, unfortunately, we kind of have that. We kind of had that black stigma, and if we can erase the black stigma or do something to kind of lessen it, but my belief is that
I think Obama did a lot to.
I think he did. I think he did. That's what I was looking for him. I wasn't looking for him to be a cure-all. He was competent. And let me tell you something else. If you remember this, if you want to give him credit for this, is that when he caught Osama, during that. Well, we understand that, but he was the leader when it happened. He has to take credit for that, right? Okay. So he took credit for that during that White House Correspondents' meeting when Trump was in attendance. So when he walked out and made that announcement, the room was silent, right? They're like, oh, this guy came off like Jordan comes off. He comes off like Prince jumping off of a piano. He came off with some otherworldly stuff. So I'm
glad he helped. I'm with 2008, man. That damn crash was crazy. I lost.
Right. He's got to credit for that. When Jackie Robinson made plays, this is true. When Jackie Robinson made plays, his teammates, white teammates, would look at him and say, "Is he human?" They would make him, jump over. He would jump over somebody, throw a person out. He did 2 or 3 different things at the same time, and they looked at him like, "Are they?" Actually, he said, "Are they human?" So I'm not going to sit here and believe that it's all over us. If I want to see black folk, whites and others in fear because they see this black man, because black people have this tendency, we have to give props to ourselves. We have a dynamic nature about us. We do certain things where people look at us in awe. So when you hold on, I'm gonna land the plane.
Fear is not more powerful than love. So what America do is they said everybody think it's fear and love. It's really not that. The translation is really fear or Stockholm syndrome. And America chose Stockholm syndrome. It's more powerful, I think.
I think black men have to figure out a way to stop the war with ourselves. Black men have to stop the war with ourselves.
You got to disengage from shit.
But that may be true about that.
That's exactly what I said. Disengage.
But we do have.
What did the War Games, the movie, teach us? It said war. The only way to win is not to play.
Is not to play.
I mean, but you have to use the word black man very loosely. I mean, are you FBA? Are you FBA?
Well, I agree with you there because you got to remember all these foreign black men, these Africans, these Caribbeans. They're lined up ready to play the game. They're not trying to disengage. It's American-born blacks who at this point are disengaging. The rest of them, these African men have their women.
Everybody knows who you are, bro.
These Caribbean men have their women in check. These men have a flag and they salute a different flag. Black Americans have the American flag and that's it. They don't salute no other. They don't have the Haitian flag. They ain't got Dominican Republic flag. They ain't got Nigeria and shit. No, the reason why those men have their shit in check. The reason why those men have their shit in check is because their women have respect for them, and their women have respect for the flag that they're holding up. Black men ain't holding up the U.S. flag.
Passport, I'm going to tell you something. Passport, I'm going to tell you something. You're a New Yorker, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you familiar with Weeksville Village in Brooklyn? Okay.
I do my best to stay away from there because they'll steal the rims off my car.
Okay. So Weeksville, you can go to YouTube and look this up, right? Weeksville Village is a preserved community in Brooklyn dating back to the late 1800s. It's perfectly preserved. So that like you could go into the house, the furniture's in there, everything is exactly how it was in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Now, the reason why I bring this up as far as ADOS folk, FBA people, is that when you walk into those homes, they had newspapers that showed black-owned newspapers, right? That showed had conduct that was expected of black people. And you would be amazed at ADOS people. You need to look a certain way. You need to speak a certain way. What was once called respectability politics is where you're going. And now we said that respectability politics is a bad thing, but it really is not. That is the ADOS flag you're looking for. That black folks, whether it was W.E.B. Du Bois or Booker T. Washington, those early black people that set up for there to be a Black Wall Street, had a certain type of conduct from an ADOS perspective that for some reason we've forgotten that. There's a reason why we went from slavery to Black Wall Streets, plural, to the Civil Rights Movement. It started falling off after 1965. You have to ask that question. We can't keep on seeding over, oh, well, the Africans have it this way. The most dynamic, hold on, I'm going to land a plane. The most dynamic black folks on earth, bar none, are ADOS. Let's keep it 1,000. We are the most, people have been, the world chases the ADOS figurehead. When those other ethnicities come in that are black, they have to mimic the ADOS standard, and then they move on. What? So what we have to do.
I mean, do you know about CARICOM?
Yeah.
Isn't that like 20 years before ADOS?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean as far as for reparations?
Yes.
From the Commonwealth.
That's where it arrived from. ADOS did not exist before. Ann Coulter made a book called Adios America. I mean, that's not a coincidence, right?
No, that's way off. No, Yvette Carnell and
hell no.
They did not
organize that movement before Ann Coulter wrote a book called Adios America.
No, you're not
giving credit to Yvette, man. I watched her do that.
No, there's always been.
Okay.
I think I think Ron Dellum, Congressman Ron Dellum's like 50 years ago was hallmarking. Right. So there's always been a reparations movement.
But I mean, CARICOM was way before that shit.
But that CARICOM is for the Caribbean. We're going against Britain and France.
Caribbean, it's a common market. The CARICOM is specifically, now you can have your own political stuff, but it's specifically set up to be a common market where you reduce or eliminate tariffs, trade barriers, quotas amongst the Caribbean community. That's really what it is. It's like Mercosur for the South. It's like a NAFTA.
But look, you have to give credit for Yvette, because she really hunkered down on the Black American.
She's a lesbian. No, she's a lesbian.
Come on, bro.
For a white woman. Hell no, you can't use her.
If you get that check, she could be married. If you get that check, she could be married to a moose.
No,
we gotta be deeper than that.
She's a lesbian. She's a lesbian.
Come on, bro. We gotta be more intelligent than that. Who cares?
Who
are we talking about?
Only box I've been checking on my life.
Yvette Carnell.
Even Yvette, ADOS and FBA. Only reason why I like those two things is because for some reason these acronyms allow people to really express how they feel about African Americans.
That's true too.
And for those acronyms, I'm thankful for. But I've been checking African American box for on government applications, jobs, all this type of stuff. ADOS, FBA ain't on none of that. And when it comes down to what's black, it says Black non-Hispanic. That's the question they ask you, and then it drills deeper into it, and it says Black/African.
But I've been on this shit though. I've been on this shit.
No, they have career. They have Native is under there, and I also think I think Caribbean got their own box now under the conglomerate.
Man, you out your motherfucking mind.
Look, it codified.
You don't check. You don't.
Nah, you.
So wait, whoa. What phones you?
Black.
No, I do agree. I've seen those I've seen those boxes. I've seen those boxes. They check for black, Hispanic, white,
I mean,
non-Hispanic,
but you
black,
ain't been
non-Hispanic.
applying it for jobs and shit like that. You ain't been applying for jobs.
And by the way, let's keep in
What are you
mind,
talking
Hispanic.
about? When you
Hold
go
on,
on
hold on.
Indeed,
Let's
when you
keep
go
in
on
mind.
LinkedIn, every job is
Guys,
asking you those questions so that they can get a survey in the pool.
It's black,
keep in mind,
non-Hispanic.
But
That's
hold
the
on,
thing.
the word Hispanic by itself simply means do you speak Spanish or not? They're not asking about your ethnicity being Latino or not. They're asking do you speak Spanish or not? So if you speak Spanish, you can be white or black. That's all Hispanic means.
Well, look, Yvette gets credit because Ados.
I call cap. I call cap, bro.
No, but that's not cap. That's true.
I don't think he's filled out a lot of forms.
But
yeah,
hold on,
dude. If you look at these,
Okay,
forms,
the way he look, he's like, shit. I didn't fill out a ton of them. I don't think you. I don't know. I don't know. You filled out forms the way you look.
Do you know my resume, man? Fuck wrong with you, man.
Let me say this.
Nah, I ain't been employed.
Let me
is that your degree hanging behind you? What's that on the wall?
Okay.
Well, let me say this. Whatever you think about Yvette Carnell, or Antonio Moore, you have to give them credit because when they came up with the ADOS thing, it made it a lineage-based, very codified thing for Black American-specific culture. You know what I'm saying? It made it very specific because when you think about just using the term black, what happens is you start to see that someone from a different from Nigeria, Uganda, from Jamaica can come in and get the benefits that were supposed to be earmarked. I gotta land my plane, gentlemen. I have to land my plane. Let's start to kind of like stop jumping over each other. So what I'm saying is, so what I'm saying, and I'll make it short, is that ADOS thing made it very specific about those who were the victims of the American slave trade. The American slave trade. CARICOM goes into the Jamaican and Caribbean slave trade thing. It's very specific. So if you're trying to collect a check, you got to be specific about who gets that check.
Okay, I mean, if you read a fucking book, where the most rebellious slaves go to? When they were rebellious in the United States.
The bottom of the Atlantic. The bottom of the Atlantic.
No, fuck no.
Yes,
they go to the Caribbean.
No,
I know. I mean, like you run your mouth.
The most rebellious slaves got thrown overboard.
You're not telling the truth, though.
How you gonna tell me that's not the truth?
I don't think that's the point.
A slave in Louisiana that was a slave in Louisiana that was unruly got sent to fucking Haiti. They got sent to Trinidad, Tobago. They got sent to Jamaica. What I'm saying is, like, those niggas right there, come on, man. I mean, listen, what happened after Haiti had the 1804? You started to have a whole bunch of fucking slave revolutions and shit like that in America. What are you talking about, man? Won't you acknowledge that shit? Straight up now.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know. I don't quite understand where you.
Nat Turner. The fuck you talking about, man?
No,
start acknowledging that shit, man.
No, wait a minute. I'm not disagreeing with you, brother. I'm not saying that. I'm just
saying it like this, though. I respectfully, I don't know.
No, we ain't hoes. I mean, we ain't women, man. Come on, man. Yo.
No, all I'm saying is that when they do genealogy tests on you, right? Black folks, they have you on
West Africa.
I gotta.
What you talking about? West Africa.
Bro. No, bro. You're not hearing where I'm going. I think we're talking at each other. All I'm saying is there's a specific
they don't even
culture
know about the Negro Empire. They don't even know the difference between a Negro and an African. They don't even know that black was literally a military alliance amongst the Negro and the African to secure both sides of the Atlantic. So it's weird. It's weird now. That until y'all understand that there's a Negro and an African, you won't even understand how this shit is moving here.
Y'all niggas, man, I swear to God, boy, White Zaddy did a good job with y'all niggas, man. Y'all niggas is Sambo is alive. Shit, like
that's what
200.
Well, hold on. You know what's funny about that?
Sambo.
You just said Sambo. You just said Sambo's alive. First of all, Sambo wasn't a traitor. But anyway, go ahead. You know what? Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, hey, let's examine Sambo. I mean, if you want to go, hey, big truck, if you want to take it there, okay, let's go. Morning.
No, that's okay. Just
let's move on. Let's talk about something else.
Matter of fact,
No,
definitely.
no,
I'm about to get ready to close this shit out anyway. But let me do this real quick. I gotta show this. Shout out to my man Prime VA, man. Shout out to Prime VA for this. And I will be going in more in depth to this. Because again, man, here's Crystal and Karazin providing the facts yet again, bro. Providing some facts that you know what I mean we need to definitely update and talk about, because this is one of the things that black women try to use against black men, but at the same time celebrating and you know being proud of any time they have an interracial marriage or situation or whatnot, what have you. You know, they're out here lying. So let's see.
This is the deal, and this is what, and we're going to talk about it. And whether we like the information or not, it's worth talking about, and that's what we're going to do. All right, first, 41% of interracial marriages end in divorce within the first 5 years. Now that's all interracial marriages. Okay. The next one, interracial couples have a 41% chance of divorce compared to 31% for same race couples. Black male, white female marriages have a 44% higher divorce rate than white marriages. White male, black female marriages have a 59% higher divorce rate than white marriages.
I don't know why she's smiling so hard saying that, but I don't want to hear this shit never no more. Black women, it's over with. Stop it. Stop. 59%. Y'all running around here lying, talking about, oh, that's the most successful pairing and all this other shit, baby.
It's absolutely
again. Again, y'all have the highest divorce rate and the lowest marriage rate. Even motherfucking Brad and Chad is doing you bad. Okay, so hey man, I'm definitely gonna dig into this. Pause. A little deeper because I'm just now getting it. So it's a 2-hour live stream. I look into it and see what it is. Next, I'll just pull up the stats myself and look at it. But yeah, man. You know, one is trending better than the other. I'll say that. Black men's interracial marriage rate just went up a substantial amount. I want to say anywhere between 5 and 7 points within the last 2 years or so.
But
I think.
Does it say specifically with who? Because I'm betting it's with either Asians or Hispanics. Or
well, no, I didn't say who. It just
I'm just saying, does it say who?
No, I didn't say who. It just gives a general thing. But I don't think it would be Asians, Chuck, because Asians still motherfucking obsessed with the white boys. So you know, Asian women.
No, fantastic. Hold on. Let me just simply dispel that bottom line real quick. The reality is, if you look at all the black men in America, there's fewer than like 25 million of us, but there's over 4 billion Asians. So the reality is, whether you want to go get the dark-skinned Asians from the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, whatever, or if you even going up, because I notice a lot of black men are getting south. A lot of black men now are going for South Korea and Japan, strangely enough. But the reality is, any black man who goes over there, you are, I swear to God, you become like Nobunga. You become freaking Yasuke over there. Automatically, they fall on you. And if you're serious and you're not just over there playing and you want marriage, they got it for you. So the reality is, yeah, a lot of them are going for the white men. After all, most white Europeans live right next to Asia and they travel there. So the thing about it is, most black men, they're rushing down to South America so some bitch can slip scopolamine in their soda. So all I'm saying is, yeah, the numbers are on our side. The numbers are on our side. Even if 100% of the white men and the black men in America went to Asia, all of us could get a single woman from over there, and it wouldn't even put a dent in their numbers.
Well, hold on, hey, real quick. Shout out to what it do, broski. Listen, if this turned out to be true, where they also have the men following the highest divorce rate too, nigga. Well, you know what? Just anecdotally, think about it. Remember the girl Jody Watley or whatever? I don't know what her name is.
Remember Robert De Niro's wife?
Yeah, Robert De Niro's wife and the British girl that just got divorced from the white dude. I'm pretty sure he filed for divorce from her.
A lot of these white guys, they get these dried up.
Jody Turner. Okay, yeah, something like that.
A
Jody
lot of
Turner.
these white, if you notice, a lot of these white dudes marry these old ass dried up black women who've run out of eggs and shit. It's like they're not getting young Keishas. They're getting the old like Janet Jacksons and stuff.
No, they be married to him for a while, Chuck. It's just the fact Robert De Niro was married to his wife for 20-some years.
No, but my only point is
he's had several black
wives.
wives.
I know. Was Robert De Niro the one that said, "Hey, black man, it takes a real man to have a black woman or something like that?"
Exactly. And you see how she turned
and
on
then 4 years later, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, he's with an Asian woman now. One quick thing. I think shout out to Medium Man. You know, when they have this whole thing about white males, black females, what they fail to tell you is that really anyone that's with a white female has a high divorce rate. It's almost like it's like almost like same-sex, lesbian couples are like at a 76% clip of failure. So, the same thing with, they say, well, oh, you black men can't stay with black women. No, I mean, white women. No, white women have an issue with everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, it's called feminism. It's called, they're there to take your shit. Like, they're not playing.
But if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story accurately. That's what's at issue.
If you look at the highest divorces in the world, you got Ukraine and Russia for the most part. So if you're counting them as white, which I'm pretty sure they do, then yeah, they have like the highest divorce rate.
Is that like widowing?
What? No, I'm talking about
Ukraine and Russia. Are they divorcing or are they getting widowed?
No, they're getting divorced. I'm not talking about widow. If you look up highest divorces in the world, it's that Eastern European area, Polish, Russian, Ukraine. They were like number 1 and 2. But now if you look at white Americans, most of them, they ain't even getting married no more. But for the most part, the ones that are, yeah, their divorce rate's over 75%.
Yeah. But with that being said, man, hey, it was a great bill, fellas. I greatly appreciate y'all for coming up, man. And you know what I'm saying? Fleshing this out.
Are you gonna do a stream about my mayor anytime soon, or?
Nah, I ain't talking about him.
You don't care about him? Okay, so any more Diddy?
I'm done with that shit too. Unless like some crazy happens. Hey, unless they take his ass up out of here.
He's trying to escape right now from prison. He's oiling himself up. He's gonna slide through the bars like the Terminator.
You're going too far. All right, man. Yeah. Let me either read this last super chat and we go get out of here, man. Shout out to Brian Turner for another 5. Greatly appreciate you, brother. Damn, I should have read this a little earlier. Can fellas give some game on some certifications brothers should go after, both with education or without? Anybody got an answer for that?
Brain ain't
certification. Wait, what was the question? Shit.
Oh, here we go. Certifications with or without education.
I would suggest MRI technician, CAT scan technician, X-ray technician. You can get those from like a 2-year school, each one, but it's a hustle, but you can easily make over $100,000 running those X-ray machines. One
coding programs also.
Yeah,
there's all kinds of inroads to this game. Actually,
cybersecurity. Yeah.
You could also. I don't even know what Brian do. You know what I'm saying? But if you whatever, I don't care whatever your field is. You definitely need at least one certification in that.
You need at least a college degree. You need a 4-year college degree. Otherwise, it's going to be harder to make money. See, sometimes you can make it with just an associate's, but it takes you longer to start stacking paper than it does if you have a 4-year degree. The key is not going into debt for a long time for it. That's the key.
Yeah,
indeed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, hey, greatly appreciate y'all, man. That's that on that one. Catch y'all next one. Holla, we out.
Okay.
All right. Good night, sir. Good night.